Breaking news here on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. Obi Toppin has been traded to the Indiana Pacers. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have talked about it for weeks at this point on the channel. We even did trade destinations for Obi Toppin yesterday on the channel, and the number one trade destination I had was the Indiana Pacers. Obi was linked to the Pacers back at the NBA trade deadline. There was rumors that the Knicks were trying to get one of those late first-round picks from the Indiana Pacers prior to the NBA draft. They were unable to do so, so now they get somewhat of a minimal return. Here is the full trade. The New York Knicks have sent former top 10 pick Obi Toppin to the Indiana Pacers, and they are getting back 2 second-round picks. Am I happy about this? No. Am I mad about this? No. Am I shocked? Not in the slightest. I have been telling you guys for weeks that Obi Toppin was going to be traded. There was reports following Game 4 against the Miami Heat that Obi and Tibbs had a physical altercation. He was never going to be on the New York Knicks when the season started. Maybe that's helping me stomach this a little bit more, but I'm upset. I am. I love Obi. I love me some sloppy toppy. And I'm going to say that because it might be the last time I can ever say that. I love sloppy toppy. But he's not a Knick anymore. And it's frustrating. I think Obi is a fine basketball player. I just don't think he ever would have been able to reach what a lot of people saw in Obi Toppin being Julius Randle's backup. And it stinks. And I think Obi's going to have a good career with the Indiana Pacers. He's going to a team that prioritizes ball movement, that prioritizes getting up and down the hardwood, playing with the point guard and Tyrese Halliburton that likes to push the break, that likes to get others involved. And they have one of the leading paces in the NBA. They play fast. Obi wants to play fast. And he is going to be a member of the Indiana Pacers, and the Knicks get 2 second-round picks back. I want everyone watching right now to get in the comment section and let me know what they think of this trade. Obi to the Pacers. The Knicks receive 2 second-round picks. Grade the trade for me down in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give shout-outs down below. Rumple Foreskin is giving it an F. Not AJ gives it an F. I'm getting a whole lot of Fs, a whole lot of Ds. Webb gives it an F. Fernando's giving it a C. Dill gives it a C. Diltho. I think I know who that is. D- from Jason B. Fs. Will gives it an A for the Pacers. Antoine gives it a C. Ty Clemens says that's actually a F unless they are using it for a trade chip. Big L gives it a D. If you're just joining as we're crossing over 300 people watching right now, Obi Toppin has been traded to the Indiana Pacers for 2 future second-round picks. Not ideal, but I think it's a move that had to be done. Obviously, if there was a better move out there from another team, the Knicks would have accepted that deal. But the fact that there was not a better deal on the table, what does that tell you about the value of Obi Toppin across the league? I mean, look, the Knicks can't make moves that aren't on the table. If people thought Obi Toppin was that good, they would have offered first-round picks, protected first-round picks, a player. I don't think Obi is a scrub. I just don't think he fit with the New York Knicks at this current juncture. Does it suck that we're trading a top 10 pick for 2 future second-round picks? Yes. It is unfortunate. It is not fun, and it makes my stomach hurt because it is a failed operation by this organization. But no one thought when Obi Toppin was selected that Julius Randle was going to be on the Knicks at this point and be one of the best players in the NBA. I don't even like Julius Randle, but he is. That's what happens when you make the All-NBA team twice out of 3 years, 2-time All-Star, All-NBA Most Improved, and a guy that's averaged 25, 10, and 5 over the last 3 seasons. I don't like Randle, but it is what it is, right? Like, this is what it is. You can be mad. You could be punching the air. And I'm upset too. But another move is coming. The Knicks did not make this move to not make another move. If I had to predict what happens, the Knicks are going to end up dumping Evan Fournier to the San Antonio Spurs and probably using both of these second-round picks or maybe just one of them. So you've turned Obi into a asset so you could dump Evan Fournier. That is what I think is going to happen. I think the Knicks are going to end up signing Donte DiVincenzo either today or tomorrow. He reportedly has meetings throughout the weekend. I'm sure he's seeing a lot of people get overpaid in free agency and said, before I sign this deal with the Knicks, maybe I need to get a deal done somewhere else. Oh, I want to bring up producer Patrick Seatman. I am biased. I love the Knicks, and I love Obi Toppin. Seeps has come to like the Knicks as well, but just not deeply as rooted. Obi, 2 second-round picks. What do you make of it, Seeps?
I feel like you can't really give a grade until we see what the other moves are for the Knicks. Like, let's just say, for example, they miss out on DiVincenzo and they aren't able to dump Fournier's salary. I'd probably give this maybe a D or an F because you are kind of sacrificing a former, what is he, the 7th overall pick?
Yeah, top 10.
I mean, yeah, top 10 guy, but I think it's going to have to be, we're going to have to see what the other move is. But, I mean, face value, Obi for 2 seconds, obviously it's not the greatest trade in the world for the Knicks, but I think it's a thing, like you were saying, like the whole Fournier salary dump thing. Like if you are able to kind of pull that off, totally different situation.
The Knicks have been scouring the trade market. If there was a better deal out there for Obi Toppin, they would have taken it. It's unfortunate. I am upset that a top 10 pick is gone. I think the Knicks missed their window to capitalize on Obi Toppin's value. I think the time to trade him was at the NBA trade deadline. And the longer you wait with these rookie players, the worse off the value is going to be, and that is why Obi Toppin is no longer a member of the Knicks. He wanted out. He wanted a bigger role. He couldn't be a starter here. And I don't think him and Tom Thibodeau had the greatest relationship after there was audio leaked of Obi Toppin saying, yo, Tibbs, what the hell are you doing? You can't coach. And I'm sure Obi wasn't happy about going into his third season. His minutes were cut from 17 minutes a game to 15 minutes per game. We know that Obi Toppin is talented. We know that he's a guy that's going to have a good NBA career. I think he's going to be better off suited playing for the Indiana Pacers. It just kind of stinks that you took someone inside the top 10 and all you get back is 2 second-round picks.
And Marsh, I know you made the point before, but like when the Knicks drafted Obi, they didn't anticipate Randall being kind of the face.
They probably didn't even think Randall was going to be on this team at this point.
Probably. And so I don't know. I mean, it hurts giving him up. But again, guys, this is a guy who, if you're trying to take an optimistic view of it, this is a guy who played 15 minutes a game for you. You're getting 2 second-round picks. Let's just say it all works out. Let's just say you get those 2 second-rounders, send them to San Antonio, or maybe you just send one of them to San Antonio with Fournier, for you can kind of dump his salary, and then you give DiVincenzo maybe a little bit more of a bag than you would have, before this trade went down.
Also, a reason I'm not totally hurt about this, I know it hurts. Obi was one of my favorite players to enjoy watching. Not the biggest fan of his game at all. I don't think he did the little things good enough. I think he got lost on defense too much. Not a good enough rebounder. Not a good enough defender. But man, is he fun. A lot of highlight plays, a lot of points with limited usage. I mean, we'll show the stats when we get into the cut on when he starts coming up. But Seeps, he's not a young player. He's 26 years old when the season ends. Like, he's not some young guy. He's going to be 26 in 200 days. Like, that is not young in the NBA.
No, by no means. And
he's young by experience, but not age.
What was the next move for Obi's development? Like, what were we waiting on him to kind of develop into to be a key piece for the Knicks title run that we're anticipating over the next couple seasons?
Like, and I think you make a great point right there, Seeps. Like, who did the Knicks turn Obi Toppin into? A three-point line runner on offense to a three-point line runner on defense. A catch-and-shoot three-point player. That was never Obi Toppin's plan. And if you're an Obi Toppin fan, obviously we love the Knicks. We rep New York over players. I'm a Knicks fan, not a Players fan. But if you are an Obi Toppin fan, Seeps, you got to be happy for the guy.
Definitely. I mean, the Pacers are a run-and-gun team. And honestly, the Pacers are making a lot of fun moves this offseason.
Like, everyone talks about unleash Obi, let Obi play. If you like the guy, he's going to go play. But it is not a great deal for the Knicks. I would give it a C overall. Not a great deal, Not a bad deal. We had to have a consolidation trade at some point. Unfortunately, Obi Toppin is the sacrificial lamb, but I don't think we're done here, Seeps. I don't think all moves are done.
And I will make this point. This could also be a move where right now, maybe the Knicks rip this Band-Aid off, and they're just like, I know our fans are going to be pissed. This is not going to be something that's obviously going to make people happy. They know, like sending Obi for 2 second-rounders, that's not going to win the fan base over. But maybe if you would have waited, I don't know Obi's contract situation, but if you would have waited a little bit, you might have just lost him for nothing. Like, at least they're getting something
He's
back.
extension eligible right now, and he could be a restricted free agent next summer, so you could have run the risk of losing him for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just said he doesn't really have a role with us moving forward here, like a prominent role, like a top 10 pick role. Let him go to Indiana, see what he has there. I just think this is one of those moves. You can take an optimistic view. You can take a pessimistic view.
Yeah.
It's kind of either way.
That's a good point. We did get a $25 super chat from Claudia. Their first ever super chat on the channel. Claudia, thank you for joining the show. Thank you for supporting. We really appreciate the very kind contribution. It means a lot to us. Thank you, Claudia. We really, really appreciate it. Let's get into it, Seeps. Let's break down the Obi Toppin trade. While Seeps gets everything ready, I need you guys to hit that thumbs up icon. If you are ready for us to talk about the Obi Toppin trade in extensive detail, I need you to hit that thumbs up icon. How about this? Are you mad Obi Toppin got traded? Hit that thumbs up icon. We got 550 people watching right now. Let's get up to 200 likes. Let's go. There's no reason we should not be at 200 likes with 500 and almost 50 people watching. Hit that thumbs up icon. You're mad the Knicks traded Obi. You hate what the Knicks are doing this offseason. You want to just grab Leon Rose and say, what are you doing? Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. We got 81 likes. We're not starting the cut till we get to 100 likes. Let's go. And if you have liked the video, type me down below. If you have liked the video, type me in the comment section so I know who's a real one. You mad about the trade? You're happy about the trade? You're ready for us to start the video? Hit that thumbs up icon. And if you have hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. Obi Toppin traded from the Knicks to the Pacers, 2 second-round picks. Not the best return, but sometimes, Seeps, you got to just rip that Band-Aid off no matter how bad it's going to hurt. Sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off. Alrighty, let's get into it. Obi Toppin, you are an Indiana Pacer. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Breaking news here on the channel. This is why you subscribe. Go down right now, hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. And we're going to keep you in the loop on everything surrounding the Knicks as Obi Toppin has been traded from the New York Knicks to the Indiana Pacers on the second day of NBA free agency. It's a sad day for Knicks fans. I'm not the biggest Obi Toppin supporter. I like the guy. I like the player. The play style is a little bit infuriating for me at times, but I'm upset. I am. I mean, this is a guy that was picked inside the top 10 just 3 years ago, and now the Knicks have taken that Ferrari off the lot, and they're trading it in for 2 future second-round picks. Is it ideal? No. Is it a good trade for the Knicks? No. The question is it a move that had to be done? I think it might have been. Obi was not in good standing with Tom Thibodeau. Him being Obi and Tom Thibodeau got into a physical and verbal altercation following Game 4 against the Miami Heat. The audio has been linked. It's leaked on my Twitter. You can go check it out. Obi said, yo, Tibbs, what the hell are you doing? You can't effing coach. I'm sure Tom Thibodeau wasn't happy about that. Supposedly, Knicks players had to hold Obi and Tom Thibodeau apart. Obi wanted a bigger role. Obi wanted to go play somewhere else. He essentially asked out, and the Knicks are doing right by Obi Toppin. And for that, I can find a little bit of peace in that. I will see Obi Toppin progress, and we will see him potentially have a chance to reach his ceiling with the Indiana Pacers. But before I give you my more thoughts on Toppin, we'll recap what he did with the Knicks and what this could mean for the Knicks coming up around the corner as NBA free agency is underway. I want you guys to grade the trade in the comment section. The Knicks, they get 2 second-round picks, The Indiana Pacers get Obi Toppin. Ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. Type A, B, C, D, or F. I want you guys to grade the trade down below. Be honest with me. I want to hear from you. I can't give this an A. I can't give this a B. I can't give it an F either. I would call this a C- to a C deal. Unfortunately, with what the Knicks are about to do and sign Donte DiVincenzo, somebody from the rotation had to go. Tom Thibodeau wants to run a 9-man rotation. And if you add Donte DiVincenzo to the way the roster is currently constructed, that would have been 10 players. And with the relationship they have and Obi Toppin wanting a bigger role and asking to pretty much be traded, here it is. Here's what Obi did in his career for the New York Knicks. 201 regular season games for Toppin, wearing the blue and orange with New York across his chest. In his career, he's averaging 7 points per game, 3 rebounds, a 49% shooter from the deck, and the three-point shot got better and better every year. But look at the minutes. 11 minutes per game his rookie year, 17 minutes game his sophomore season, and then down to 15.7 minutes his third season. The reason his minutes are low is because nobody inside the Knicks organization thought Julius Randle would become a 2-time All-NBA player out of 3 seasons after they traded Obi. Obi was supposed to be Julius Randle's replacement. Thing is, Julius didn't let that happen, and he became a top 50 player in the NBA. I love Obi. I'm sad to see him go, but I am happy he's going to be able to go somewhere where he's going to be actually able to play with a really good coach and hopefully be able to break through that ceiling that Tom Thibodeau put on him. A lot of reasons that the Knicks fans are upset about Obi Toppin was always the usage. And when he got minutes, he produced, right? I mean, his stats when the starter with the New York Knicks, Obi Toppin started 15 games, excuse me, for the New York Knicks in his 3-year career. And he averaged 21 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and the efficiency is what I do love about Obi. He gives you a lot of punch without a lot of minutes. He gets you juice quickly. His per 36-minute stats are excellent. 57.6% from the field and 44% from 3 in those starts. And he was solid in Game 1 against the Miami Heat in the playoffs. It's the defense, though. It's the little things. It's the rebounding. I do appreciate his offensive processing skills. I think he processes stuff really fast on the offensive end. He's just unable to do it on the defensive end. I understand the Knicks did not technically have to trade Obi Toppin, but all I heard when we were talking about free agency targets during the offseason was the Knicks have to make a trade. They have to open up a roster spot. They have to do something. Well, this was the move. This was the move that happened. Obi, no longer a Knick, the New York City kid, the legend of a New York City hooper. It's upsetting. It is. I'm sad. I'm not happy about this. No matter how many times I've yelled, Obi Toppin, why are you leaking out on a rebound? I am sad because he's one of ours, and he's no longer going to be a member of the New York Knicks. Very, very sad. We will keep you guys up to date, though, on everything surrounding the New York Knicks. If the Knicks make a move, we are making a video. So if you love the Knicks, hit that subscribe button down in the comment section, or right above the comment section, and join the channel as we push for 30,000 subs. My man Johnson, DT, with a $5 super chat. We'll put this in the video. He says, this stings. Mastermind President Leon Rose strikes again. At least use him as a part of a bigger trade. All these picks for what? This is an F-. What I would say to you, Johnson, you or Dill Tho, do you think the Knicks took a worse deal that was offered for Obi Toppin? No. This is the best that they could get, or at least that was evident on the table. I'm sure they shopped him around in trades. I'm sure they talked to the Bulls about sending Obi Toppin to Chicago in return for Zach LaVine. They probably didn't want him. Look, if there's 29 teams outside the Knicks in the NBA. Only one of them offered multiple second-round picks. I know we love our own players, and I am a guilty victim of overrating our own players at times. But you know what? You are what the market says you're worth. And if Obi only goes for 2 second-round picks, maybe that's all he's worth, unfortunately, no matter how much we love him and see him in a good light. This is the Knicks roster, though, right now. Can't believe I'm not seeing Obi Toppin on this list anymore. It is upsetting, but it is what it is, and we roll with the punches. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson remains as your starting lineup. But now you have some minutes open on the bench. Emmanuel Quickly going to get a lot of minutes, so is Josh Hart, as well as Isaiah Hartenstein. That's 3 guys off the bench. I think you could use another guard, and you need a backup 4. Does Josh Hart become your backup 4? I know people are going to say, Marshall, he's 6'4". How could Josh Hart be your backup 4? 1, just because you're tall doesn't mean you're a position. Number 2, Josh Hart is a better rebounder through and through than Obi Toppin. Josh Hart is a better defender than Obi Toppin. The only reason that Obi Toppin is considered a power forward compared to Josh Hart is because he is 6'9". Not saying Josh Hart is a power forward, but he has the capability to do that. And remember, Tom Thibodeau, he said he trusts Josh Hart to be a 4. Not advocating for Josh Hart to be a 4, but I'll also say this. All of you guys that are complaining about Josh Hart playing the backup 4 begged and pleaded for the Knicks to play more small ball. And now that they're doing it, you're throwing a fit? What do you want? What do you want? Obi in the playoffs this past year, a little underwhelming. If you ask me, the 3-point shot escaped him. Just 30% from the field and 7 points. Had a really good game in game 1 against the Heat. I think he was 4 for 11 from downtown, but he really had some bad defensive possessions, which hurt the Knicks overall. But if this is the last time we're going to talk about Obi Toppin here on the channel, let's show him some love. Knicks fans, light up the comment section. Stand up for our guy Obi Toppin, who I loved watching play for the Knicks. I'm sad he's gone. It wasn't a great trade, but it is what it is. You could be optimistic or you could be pessimistic. Show some love to Obi, though. Type number 1 in the comment section. Obi Toppin, no longer a member of the New York Knicks. Obi, thank you for everything. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the fun. One of my favorite calls of this season, it's on my Instagram, and it's me doing the announcing of a play-by-play where it's Obi Toppin getting an alley-oop from R.J. Barrett. It was that play against the Lakers. Obi Toppin with the steal. Pass it to Barrett. Barrett behind the back. Alley-oop. Obi Toppin. I'll miss screaming Obi Toppin's name. Obi, thank you. We appreciate you. And New York is always going to have your back. Oh, Obi Toppin. No longer a Knick. Seeps, what do you make of it?
I think it's just depressing that there is over. But there is still a Toppin on the Knicks roster.
There is a Toppin still on the Knicks roster.
I mean, maybe the sloppy toppy is not it's not over yet. It's not over yet. But I think we made a couple of good points. Like, I feel like if another team offered a better package, the Knicks would have taken it in a heartbeat.
They didn't make this move and decide today they were sending Obi away. No. They have been scouring the trade market for months.
Yeah, and probably Indiana just had the best offer for Obi Toppin. But I think this is a set of moves to come for the Knicks. Like, maybe this means DiVincenzo gets a little bigger deal than we thought, Marsh.
Maybe the full MLE?
Maybe.
4 years, $50 million?
You're going to have to open this up. I mean, maybe also they're trying to prepare for, like, they know they're not going to have to extend Obi, right? Like, they already knew that. They're like, let's rip this Band-Aid off now because they know they're going to have to pay Brunson more. Like, that contract's going to come eventually where you're going to have to extend him. So everything's critical. Like, the Knicks aren't just like it's not like the Pacers were just like, today, hey, 2 second-rounders for Obi. And the Knicks were like, oh, sure. Like, this has been a long process.
Talks dating back to the trade deadline. I don't know if I said that in the video. Probably should have.
Yeah, like this was not something that it just kind of sparked during free agency. So, yeah. We did have some super chats roll in there. Big L came in with a $5 super chat. Said, it's official. Dame asked for a trade. Do we want him? There was an interesting little Josh Hart tweet that was recruiting Dame to New York, and he said, come home. Or he said, come, and he added Damian Lillard.
He said what?
Josh Hart.
What did he say, though?
He said, come home.
Oh, okay.
Or come or whatever. What'd you think? What do you think, guys?
You said he told him to come.
Oh,
That's what
he
you
did
said,
tell
not
him to
me.
come. But yeah.
Here's the call. I'll play it. Hold on.
To Russell. Hart guarding him. Pass stolen by Hartenstein. Behind the back. Alley-oop. Obi Toppin! What a play by the Knicks! Oh my God! RJ Barrett behind the back and throws it up, and Obi finishes.
I'll miss it. I will miss the highlight plays from Mr. Obi Toppin. He was.
Like a walking highlight reel. But
No one is happy about this.
yeah.
I think some people think I'm happy, but
I think people, like, let's just say, what if they got one late first-round pick that was top 20 protected? I feel like people would have saw that and been like, oh, that's not bad. I would have taken the 2 second-rounders.
Yeah,
Like,
and in this new CBA, Seeps, those picks 30 through like 40 are so important because you can now, those rookies, second rounders, usually it's a 3-year deal. Now you can give them up to 4 years.
okay, yeah.
So, like, they're a little bit more valuable. Not saying I'd rather have a second-round pick than a first-round pick, but cheap, cost-controlled players over a long period of time are going to be valuable in the upcoming years.
And I will say, it's not like the Pacers are going to be drafting bottom half of the second round. Like, these might be.
This might be the 35th pick in the draft.
This could be 37th, 30th, like 38th.
It's sad. It is
So-
sad. Big L.
Dame.
I don't hate the idea of trading for Dame. I don't love it though.
It would just.
You're literally just the Cleveland Cavaliers then.
Yeah.
Two guards that can't really play defense, and we saw that the Portland Trailblazers theory didn't work when they had two small guards. So, if the price is right and he wants to come here, sure. I don't hate it. I don't love it either, but I think he's a Miami Heat, unfortunately. Leon Robinson, first ever super chatter. Leon, we appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us here on New York Knicks Now. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you, bro. As Super Dope Hip Hop comes in with a $5 super chat. Is that Bob Sanders as the profile pick? That's pretty cool. He says Pacers low-key top 5 League Pass exciting teams. Okay, so a team that you're going to rock with on League Pass. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
24-18 with Halliburton last year and added Jarris Walker, Bruce Brown, Toppin, Ben Shepherd, def a top 5 offense. They definitely did I thought they've had a good offseason.
Yep.
I know I'm not the biggest Halliburton fan. I recognize he's a good player. I don't know if he's worth the max contract. Definitely not worth $20 more million per year than Jalen Brunson. But it's a young, exciting team there they got there in Indy.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be fun to watch. I mean, having, Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin, and then obviously I was a big fan of Jarris Walker coming out of the draft. They'll be exciting. Obviously, question marks still around Hield and Turner if they'll stay on the roster, but yeah, they're going to be a scrappy team every time you play them. Like, they're going to be a team where it's like, oh shit, the Pacers beat the Bucks, the Pacers beat the Celtics, when you catch one of these contenders kind of lacking during the regular season. I bet you they're going to be away. I could see them being like a really good regular season team, maybe sneaks into the playoffs, and then it's just like, this is where big boy basketball is played.
Good fit for Obi, too. They like to get up and down. They have one of the best paces in the NBA, and by best, I mean quickest. We're going to see a lot of highlights of Halliburton throwing lobs to Obi Toppin, and it's going to hurt.
That is going to hurt.
It is going to hurt. Super dope hip-hop. Thanks, bro. Brian with a $5 super chat. Brian, we appreciate you. He said maybe this happened because they are in the works for a bigger trade. What do you think? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what Paul George.
Maybe a Paul George trade. I think this almost guarantees that they are signing someone with that mid-level exception contract to add to this roster. It's just funny to me because I was on Knicks Twitter last night. I read the comment section. I was like, the Knicks didn't make a move. The Knicks didn't make a move. They didn't draft anyone. They didn't sign anyone. And even if we signed someone, we got to trade someone. They're doing what you guys wanted. They're consolidating the roster. They're getting future assets. You can't.
And it's also like, I feel like that's a big symptom of NBA fans where it's kind of just like, I want the spotlight on my team. Like, I want us to be in all the news. It's like, hey, the Knicks, I would rather be where they are right now with a solid roster, not making as many moves, and then like where you're like, you have faith in the guys you already have, than have it be like the Pacers right now where they're scrambling, trying to put a bunch of pieces together. Yeah, it's more exciting, but one team will be playing later on in the year and one more.
If you're just now joining us, it is official. The Knicks have traded Obi Toppin to the Indiana Pacers for 2 second-round picks. We do not know the years on those second-round picks. Not ideal, right? I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I think it was just time. I think it was time. Obi wanted out. The relationship between him and Tom Thibodeau was eroding quickly. He wanted a bigger role, and as much as we want to see Obi Toppin play over Randall, it's not going to happen.
What's the argument for people that say that they want Obi playing over
more
Randall?
Efficient, better passer, doesn't need the ball, and he's not Julius Randle.
Okay, I mean, I get it, but
I just don't understand anyone that says Obi Toppin should start over Julius Randle.
Yeah.
You know, that's no dig at Toppin.
No.
And if you watch the show, you know I'm not the biggest Randle fan.
But you still got to give credit to a dude who's 2 times All-NBA in the past 3 years. Like,
yeah, it's just funny. Chase Saucy back in the building yesterday, or I think it may have been the draft they sent in their first over super chat. Chase Saucy, we appreciate you. My guy, respect your grind, continue success. How do you feel about us signing Trendon Watford? Nice backup power forward, cheap cost. I don't hate that. Was he bought out by the Blazers yesterday, or was it just a release?
Either or, but this dude, I think he shot like 39% from deep last season at that little stretch 4. And he's 22 years old.
Yeah, no, I remember watching, there was a game this year where the Knicks played against the Blazers, and he was their starting power forward, and I was like, who is this guy? But while the volume isn't there, Che, from 3 with Watford, he did connect on 39%, but he only got up 1 3 per night. I would like to see what that percentage would even out to if the usage continued to be something that continued to rise. I wouldn't mind taking a cheap flyer on Watford, but I think Isaiah Roby, who the Knicks signed at the end of the regular season last year, may be a guy that they think could be your backup 4. I know there's people in the organization that like him. They obviously signed him. He's not your Obi Toppin replacement. I unfortunately think that's going to be someone you guys aren't going to be a fan of. That's an undersized 6'4" guard in Donte DiVincenzo. But DiVincenzo is a much better basketball player than Obi Toppin. And I know people are going to be mad at us saying that, but it's just the truth.
And I feel like first round armor in the NFL, where it's like guys who are first round picks. It's like, oh, he's so much better than a guy like in the 5th round or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you view him as like where he was drafted. It's like sometimes we need to view Obi Toppin as what he's done in the league and not where he was drafted. And maybe that's where people are getting a little upset. I mean, but then again, getting 2 second-round picks for a top 10 pick is nothing to be happy about. But
not great. Bill says, is Toppin not wanting to be on the Knicks like Kadarius Toney not wanting to be on the Giants? No, not at all, I would say, Bill. Kadarius Toney was a cancer. While Obi Toppin, everyone loved being around him. He showed up to work every day. He didn't fake injuries. He wanted to be a part of the Knicks until he had to face reality that the role that he wanted is just not available for the New York Knicks. And Knicks fans love Obi Toppin. If you're a Giants fan, you like Tony, you're a cop. Mr. Nick Davidov. Chase Saucy, we appreciate you, by the way, Brody. Nick Davidov, a goat in the building with a $5 super chat. The profile picture gets me every time, dude. It is so fire.
It's kind of like head honchos in the building now. Like, I love it.
Davidov, thank you for the support, my man. We appreciate it. Big L says, my eye, with a $2 super chat. Big L, we appreciate you, boss. He says, my eyes are on Philly and Toronto personally. Are you speaking in terms of, like, people we could trade for? Yeah, I think you keep your eye on James Harden. I think you keep your eye on Joel Embiid. And I think you keep your eye on OG Anunoby. What if you trade for Anunoby and he becomes your starting small forward, but your backup
Power
4?
Forward. I mean, that'd be a great move. It's just
RJ's on the way out if you get OG.
Yeah, and probably a little more too.
I think some Knicks fans may self-combust if they trade Obi and RJ.
But if you're getting OG and
Anunoby, though,
dude, I am calling him newbie now.
And a newbie for Carl.
No, and it's because like you say it as a joke. Now I'm starting to say it as like, oh, But yeah, I mean, OG. All right, how about this, Marsh? What if, let's just say they do send it to Fournier. They are able to dump him with one of those seconds. And let's just say the move is DiVincenzo 3 years on that mid-level exception, or 2 years on the MLE.
I don't hate it. I mean, this has been the plan all along that we've been saying for weeks.
That would be a successful offseason.
As Mo Wagner is back to the Magic on a 2-year, $16 million deal.
I feel like it's a little cheap.
Mo, as we're also getting news that the Rockets are trading two former Ty Washington and Usman Garuba along with draft compensation to Atlanta. So kind of a salary dump right there for the Rockets. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff right there. Rockets, a little bit of a salary dump. My man Dill, though, says the chemistry between Quick and Obi was something else, though. Leon better use all those assets, cash in on Joel Embiid now. Ian Begley saying he is told Indiana is excited about getting a young athletic player in Obi Toppin who fits the timeline of Tyrese Halliburton, Ben Mathurin, and could be a complementary piece on the front line with Miles Turner. I'm sure Toppin is thrilled about the opportunity in Indy. The Obi Toppin deal leaves the Knicks with roughly $149.7 million in team salary, so they can use the full mid-level taxpayer mid-level of 12.4 and remain under the luxury tax, assuming roughly $4 million in unlucky bonus is player contracts are unearned.
Okay.
Look, Obi was going to be a free agent next year. Quickly was going to be a free agent next year. You weren't signing both.
Yeah.
You weren't bringing back both.
I think it's this thing where it's just like Leon knew how the fans were going to react. Like they knew, and then again, they don't do it for the fans. They don't care how people react. But I think those just ripped the Band-Aid off a year early. Because imagine how Knicks fans would have felt if he would have walked for nothing.
We couldn't even get a second-round pick for him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Leon's like, we got 2 right now.
Sad day. It's a sad day, no doubt about it. Obi Toppin traded to the Indiana Pacers for 2 future second-round picks. Terrence Myers with a $5 super chat says, I wish the Knicks would have signed Bruce Brown. Would have been a perfect fit. They don't have the money for Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown went for $23.5 million. The most money someone can be offered by the Knicks is $12.4. Yeah. So while I would like to be living in a mansion with a moat around my house and driving a Bentley, unfortunately, the way my paycheck is, it's not possible. So, Terrence, I appreciate the $5 super chat, my man. I think Bruce Brown would have been a good fit on this team. But cost is even. I honestly think DiVincenzo is a better fit than Bruce Brown.
Just because the shooting, I think, helps
and
much.
Ball handling.
Yeah, true. DiVincenzo's a sneaky playmaker.
Dude, remember at those Villanova teams, he was kind of the primary ball handler a little bit.
Especially coming off the bench. They ran a lot of pick and roll for him. A lot of pick and roll. I mean, you turn on this national championship game highlights, he hit a couple threes where he's coming off a pick and roll, and he's just stepping right into one and hitting one. The thing is, I have DiVincenzo blinders on fully. I know this. But also, I just think he's a hell of a basketball player. I would rather have DiVincenzo than Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown probably brings it a little more defensively. I don't think there's any arguing that. But in terms of fit with the Knicks, I think DiVincenzo's perfect.
He's a much better shooter.
Much better.
Much better shooter. Back again. If you're just joining us now, we're almost at 600 people live watching. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get up to 300 likes. 600 people watching, 187 likes. Tap that thumbs up icon. It would really help us out on the channel. We appreciate it. Evan Porterman says, hey, Marsh, I'm here for your stream. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. As Asia Roberson is in the building. What up, Asia? Nikki Pipes is in the building. Nikki Pipes, legend. I haven't seen Nikki Pipes in months. I'm so good to see you. He says, Seeps, mark my words, we will strike out with DiVincenzo.
As the days go on, people are just going to be more and more antsy.
Yeah. If you do not sign DiVincenzo, then trading Obi was stupid.
What's the day you get nervous? Because I feel like you're fine.
I'm not nervous until he signs somewhere else. I think he's in the
Really?
back.
Okay.
I am
All right.
not nervous.
Like even if we go till next Wednesday,
Not nervous.
you're not nervous? All
Because
right.
he's still a free agent.
True. Yeah.
Because he's still a free agent. Nicky Pipes, what the hell is up, brother?
Dude, that's a name. That's a
GOAT.
Because that was one of my favorite names during the year. Is like Nicky Pipes, and then it comes out of nowhere.
Nicky Pipes is a gangster. We appreciate it. Big L says we lost O because we have Fournier's contract. I don't think that those are correlated at all, to be quite frank with you. I don't think Obi is traded because of Evan Fournier's $18 million salary, which according to reports, the Knicks value Evan Fournier's salary. They think teams across the league are going to really value that salary in a trade to match other salary. Like, you need salary to match other salary if you're trading for a star.
That's true.
Ideally, yes, we would have liked to get a first-round pick for Obi. But if I'm trying to sell anything and there's no buyer out there willing to give me what I want, you got to lower the price.
But again, are you getting a top 15 first-round pick for Obi?
Who is sending you a first-round pick for Obi?
Nobody.
Nobody. He's going to be 26 in 200 days.
And if you are getting a first-round pick, it's going to be top 20 protected.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have the 2 seconds than a top 20 protected first-round pick.
I don't think that's a bad thought. As Low in Theory says, we need Eric Pask. Bringing all the Nova boys together.
Get Bridges here, too.
I wish we could get Bridges.
Get
wish we
Arch
could get
back.
Bridges. We do have a super chat menu in today's show. Every 200 likes, we'll spin the wheel. We got a wheel. We're actually just crossed over 216. Not sure if that wheel is still round over there, but if it is, we could spin it. If you send in a $5 super chat, you are going to enter our raffle to win a Knicks Now t-shirt. Our brand new Real One Knicks Now t-shirt, the black edition. $5 super chat will get you into that raffle. We carried over the raffle from yesterday's show. We wanted to give everyone that same opportunity. If you send in a $100 super chat, Seeps and I will do a beer shop fun race. And whoever is the MVP, which Rob Rodriguez is in a huge lead, you get to pick a Knicks jersey that we will send to you. I don't know if anyone's going to catch Rob Rod, though.
And if you already sent in a 5 from earlier today, you're already added. Don't worry about it.
Good stuff, Seeps. If you've sent in a $5 super chat, you have entered the raffle for our giveaway. As Asia is entering the raffle, Asia, we appreciate the $5 super chat, says, hey, Marshall, keep me in your prayers again. I just found out I lost another family member, cousin in a car accident. That's awful news, Asia. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. We will continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Asia is a real one. She loves the show. She's a huge supporter. So, Asia, prayers up for you and your family. Everyone here is thinking about you.
Sorry to hear that, Asia.
Sorry, Asia. That's not fun. I'm sorry. Drop a prayer emoji in the chat for Asia. Show her some love. Show her some love. We're a community. I like for us to stick together and show people love. Shout out to Only Woman 516, Brian, Terrence, my man Goat Rider. JJ47 says, who's the backup for? Josh Hart. Yeah, as of right now, or do you just have Josh Hart as your backup 3 and 4?
I mean, Josh, he's got size. Like, I don't think people should.
People look at the 6'4" and say, well, he can't be a power forward. But y'all were rooting for Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason when they played power forward. How tall were they?
And it's also 2023. Positionless basketball.
Positionless. This is Knicks fans. Knicks fans right here. Tom Thibodeau needs to go small. We have to play small. We have to play more up and down, modern tempo basketball right here. Other Knicks fans. You're telling me 6'4" Josh Hart is going to be our power forward on the backups? Which one do you want?
Exactly.
Do you want small ball in modern day NBA, or are you just bitching to bitch? And that's okay. If you want to be a miserable, pessimistic Knicks fan, go ahead. I've been there before. But it hurts my heart and it stresses me out too much to do that. So I'm not doing it anymore. I trust this organization. I trust Leon Rose. He got us Jalen Brunson for $25 million. He stole Josh Hart for the 23rd pick in the NBA draft. He drafted Quentin Grimes.
What over the last couple seasons wouldn't have Knicks fans at least have a little faith in what he's pulling off?
Because we haven't reset the rookie contracts. That's what they complain about. They haven't reset the rookie contracts. I don't know. Oh, man. Whew. All righty. Obi Toppin. 2 second-round picks for Obi Toppin. My, oh, my. Not good, Jim.
Not good.
Not the worst thing in the world, though.
Why are 2 second-round picks being like, that's just like chump change? Like, I know it's not the most exciting thing, but like, what did you expect?
How many times did we see teams at the NBA trade deadline trade 3, 4, 5 second-round picks for a player that was actually decent?
Yeah.
Now the Knicks have the ammunition to do that at the trade deadline.
Exactly.
Rui Hachimura went for 2 second-round picks.
That is
Obi
great
ain't
point.
Rui Hachimura.
No, that's a great point. Like, because some team's going to be worse than expected this upcoming year, Marsh, and they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline. It's always nice to have more ammunition.
It's trade currency.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and honestly, the dude played 15 minutes a game. I understand he was a top 10 pick. He played 15 minutes a game. You could find many dudes that can give you the production he gave you this past year. The highlights are great. They
literally were having him play a play style that's not even him either.
Yeah, a catch and shoot corner 3
This
guy.
man tried to turn into Steve Novak.
Yeah. Had him in the PJ Tucker role.
Steven says, we have all these picks and we don't do anything. I would say adding Isaiah Hartenstein, trading for Josh Hart, and signing Jalen Brunson counts as doing something. Does that count to you?
Yeah.
It only made the Knicks a top 2 team in the NBA following the Josh Hart trade. At that.
The thing that makes me frustrated with you Knicks fans, I don't have a bone to pick. At least you're not a Bulls fan or any other fan base that has no direction right now. Like,
It's wild.
I trust Leon. Like, I don't really think he's giving you a reason not to.
Big L says, I wanted John Collins from the Hawks. John Collins stinks.
Yeah. And what
John
did he go
Collins.
for? Like,
Where was he going to play?
yeah.
Were you going to trade Obi for John Collins? Oh, man. We did get a $10 super chat from a man, Jay Liv. What up, Jay Liv? He said, team building isn't perfect. It takes time and patience. Granted, it would be nice for the Knicks to be getting more done than they have, but we shouldn't panic and make a move just for a move's sake. What do you think of that, Seeps?
Sure. I mean, I agree team building isn't perfect. It takes time and patience. I kind of agree with this, that people should not panic over just one move, but I mean, if DiVincenzo signs, nobody's complaining. At least they shouldn't.
There will be people complaining. We don't need another guard. Well, yeah, you do. You do need another guard. You know why you need another guard? Because Jalen Brunson had to play 48 minutes in Game 5 to beat the Heat. I know Emmanuel quickly was hurt, but Seeps, are injuries going to be off next year? No! Injuries are a thing, and if you are one injury away from being fucked, you need more depth. And that's what the Knicks were when Emmanuel quickly got hurt. They were effed.
Yeah.
So, because Seeps, what happened when the Knicks were up double digits and then Jalen Brunson came out of the game in Game 6? The Heat went on a 12-point swing in 4 minutes. The Knicks couldn't score without Jalen Brunson on the floor. And I'm not saying DiVincenzo is a point guard, but I think he helps out in that regard a little bit.
Yeah.
He gives you someone that can at least shoot.
And how about this? What if Zion's unhappy this year? And maybe the Pelicans, you just had that little extra icing on the cake to go get, because that's a 4. Maybe that's a little extra juice that you need to kind of go get this next disgruntled superstar.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Jay Liv, I agree with you. You don't need to make a trade just to make a trade. Albeit this might have not been the best trade on paper, I think it's a move that the Knicks, unfortunately, probably had to have. There needed to be a roster consolidation trade. If there was a better deal out there, they would have made it. But, yeah, look, I don't think Donte DiVincenzo makes the Knicks a title contender, but he helps you become a better shooting team, makes you become a better defensive team in the backcourt, and he helps you improve on the margins. He's a good rebounder. He plays the passing lanes. Like, no move, nobody you signed in free agency for $12.4 million was going to raise the Knicks from 2 wins away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals to being finals contenders.
Yeah.
That move isn't out there. That's going to have to be a trade. So, I don't know. I'll take the guy who ranks as one of the best passers out of drives in the NBA, a guy that is an elite shooter from downtown, can get out in the fast break and play defense.
You know what?
I'll take that.
You know what this reminds me of? Is when everybody was freaking out over Brunson and Josh Hart at the trade deadline in last summer. Everybody's freaking out because they're not the flashiest players.
They're not the stars.
These Nova Cats, they're not flashy. They're not highlight reel guys, but they play basketball the right way. I think we're going to have another situation here where we're looking back and we're saying, told you guys, this DiVincenzo guy is the real deal.
We have been right on this channel about Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. That is for sure. Oh, yeah. Big L, my man coming in with a super chat, says this next power move better be good. You don't need a power move.
But you set yourself up in position to
The Knicks are in a great position to make a power move, but just because I got a gun that's loaded doesn't mean I have to shoot it.
Yeah, kind of like what Jay Liv was saying. Like, you don't need to rush and make a move right now, but you have ammunition to do it. Like, that's why any star that gets disgruntled, the Knicks will be connected because they have the pieces and they have the contracts and the young pieces to, match.
Tamar Bowles says, why not trade the French guy instead of Obi, just trying to get under the luxury tax? The Knicks didn't trade Obi to get under the luxury tax, my man. That's not why they traded Obi.
And the Pacers aren't sending 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Big L, we appreciate you. My man, Peter Wynn. Peter, you were balling out on our main coverage of Chat Sports. Peter sent in $250 in super chats on our main coverage. Peter, we appreciate you supporting the Chat Sports brand. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to everybody here at Chat Sports. So, Peter, thank you. We appreciate you, my man. You are the definition of a real one. Thanks, Peter. Stoic J said, Seeps, cut it out. The Bulls got perimeter shooting in Javon Carter. You guys sucked from 3 last year.
So that's the Bulls.
Is he talking about the Bulls?
Yeah, this is because I said, be grateful, Knicks fans, you're not in the Bulls or you have a direction. I love the Javon Carter pickup. The Bulls they're trying to run it back with a roster that, frankly, shouldn't be ran back. I wanted the Bulls to kind of restart, but I'm a fan of the Javon Carter signing. Check out the Bulls report on YouTube. You see my reaction. I'm a big fan of Javon Carter.
If you love Seeps and you're a Knicks fan, I need you to subscribe to our Chicago Bulls channel, Chicago Bulls Report by Chat Sports. If you just type that in, you'll be able to find, subscribe, and show some love. Big L says you misunderstood. Understood. I meant power move, not regular move, power move. Knicks don't need to make a power move right now.
Yeah.
If it's there, they'll do it. What power move is available?
I feel like the Knicks are in a great spot where it's we could run this back next year and we could still be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, but if there is a chance, let's just say, what's going on in Philly? They really have no direction right now heading into the season. You don't really know what their roster's looking like. Who knows if Embiid is out there? Maybe that could be the next power move.
You can't make a move if it's not there. Who's the power move player you're trading for? Who?
Yeah.
Sounds like the Levine talks is dead.
Oh, you said I didn't mean now, I meant when.
I truly believe when the Knicks find a player that is available, they are going to go all in. Yeah. They tried with Donovan Mitchell. Danny Ainge didn't want to trade him here. And honestly, probably not making that deal was the best move.
I'm not going to lie. That's almost a good thing they didn't make that move. Because Brunson wouldn't be who he is right now.
No, he would not.
Brunson kind of having to take on that load and be that true number one, helped his game develop.
I agree. Peter Wynn, back again. He says, Marshall, I got the basketball signed by all of you. That is awesome, Peter. I'm glad you won the basketball. I will sign it. Seeps will sign it. Shout out to Peter Wynn, a Chat Sports legend at this point. Peter, thank you, my man. Stoic J with a $2 super chat says, if Luca requests a trade, would you trade for him? Yeah, kind of have to, right?
It's Luca. He's a top 5 talent in the NBA. Luka's a 1 on a championship team. We can get into that, but I think he could be eventually in his career.
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs to grow up and mature a little bit. I think he needs to take the game and his body a little bit more serious.
Definitely.
I think he needs to become a better defender, more engaged. To be quite frank with you, it's embarrassing that the Dallas Mavericks couldn't even make the play-in last year with Luca Doncic and Kyrie Irving on that team for the final 20 games. I know Luca is special. And yes, if he was available and requested a trade, the Knicks should go all in for him.
Yeah.
But I would be a little bit salty if we had to hand over the face of the organization from the Jalen Brunson to Luca. I think it's going to be hard to build a perennial contender around Luca. I think you have to have the perfect roster, especially for his style of play. It's early on, like in the LeBron James career, where the ball is always in his hands. You have to have a certain amount of players. Cam I Am says Luca lost some weight, they said. He lost weight last offseason, and he gained it all back during the regular season. He always does this. He's a great player. He's great. He's one of the best players in this league. So, yes, if he becomes available, I would trade for him. I would. Jay Liv back again with a $5 super chat says, baseball teams need subs. Basketball teams need subs. You can't win without role players. I agree. Do the Denver Nuggets win without Bruce Brown or Aaron Gordon or Christian Brown? Like, all three of those guys had monster series. Obviously, they have Jokic, the best player in the NBA. But I think you're right on the money here, Jay Liv, and we've talked about it, Seeps. I think the era of teams always trying to get that big three might be dead.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially with the new CBA, it's definitely dead. But, role players have been winning the last couple championships. I mean, the Warriors the year before, they're Steph Curry's team, but they had huge contributions from Clay, from Wiggins, from Draymond. Poole was big. I think we're starting to see a lot more. I think we were in that kind of big three phase, and now we're kind of entering the more team basketball around two main guys.
Yeah. Someone said, why did he pause on Luca? I'm just not the biggest Luca fan. I know he's great. I know he is. 20 teams make the NBA playoffs. And if you can't do that every single year, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's not just because they let Brunson walk. There are more problems in Dallas than just that. But they've had a really good offseason.
I fully expect Dallas to be back at the top of things in the West this next year.
I would agree. You would think so. He's great. I know he is. Just not my.
I mean, how do you not have a pause on Luca, though? With what he showed, he loves basketball, but, he doesn't really take care of his body as you would want, your one to take care of his body.
He's been called immature.
Yeah. Jokic doesn't really take care of his body like most NBA
He got cut, though.
He got cut, and he's extremely a mature basketball player.
He's an adult.
He's a grown-up. He's got a kid. He's a dad.
Yes, if Luka requested a trade, the Knicks should go all in. Yeah. Yes. Is that good enough? What else do you want me to do? Get on my knees and make it no. I understand. Just not my cup of tea. But he's a damn good cup of tea. No doubt about it. Let's see him back in the playoffs, though. Kyrie Irving, back to a little NBA free agency tracker. Kyrie Irving, he goes back to the Mavs. Move they had to make once you traded for him at the trade deadline. You had to do whatever it takes to bring him back, and they are.
Would have been kind of a disaster if you would have walked for them.
Oh, yeah, you would have been done. Joe Ingles.
Is this the weirdest deal of offering?
It's up there. Ingles is a great veteran at this point. Sully says Luca or Dame? Luca, no doubt. Mm-hmm. Jesus, I'm shedding at this point. Jakob Poeltl, 4 years, $80 million. Chris Middleton, back to the Bucks. With Middleton and Lopez going back to the Bucks, do the Giannis rumors get a little more quiet?
I think it's over. I think I would expect Giannis to be signed here before that October deadline. Or does he need to? When is he extension eligible? Is it October?
Now. It's before the season is when it's on the table.
Okay.
So we will get more juice on that if in the coming months Giannis does not sign that lucrative extension that the Bucks are going to offer him. Poeltl, back to the Raptors. So similar to that Kyrie deal. You traded for him at the trade deadline. You had to bring him back.
Yeah, they gave him 2 firsts.
I think they made a last-ditch effort for Van Fleet, exactly. Thank you. He went. This is what I think happened. Rockets gave him a deal. He said, "Okay, I'm going to go talk to the Raptors." Raptors gave him a better deal, He's like, I'm going to talk to Houston. And then Houston said, all right, we'll just give you the max. And he
Yeah,
signed.
that's probably exactly what happened.
That's what I would have.
It was probably Houston always planned on offering him that deal, but they were just like, we'll see. If
Trying to get him at a lower price point. They just look. I know a lot of people like to talk about Masai Ujiri. Masai Ujiri, but being a great GM, he let Kyle Lowry walk for nothing. He let Fred VanVleet walk for nothing. And now he's let Kawhi Leonard as well walk for nothing when he – so –
Still a good roster builder. Like
he's a little arrogant, I think.
Yeah, he's got a good eye for talent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But wild stuff.
It's
right
also
there.
like I still say if KD or Clay, either one of them doesn't get hurt, I still think the Warriors come back 3-1 and win that series. That's just me though.
Wouldn't shock me. We'll close out these right here. Cam Johnson. A lot of people are hating on this deal. I think it's one of the best deals in the NBA. He's a 6'9", 40% shooter from three on great.
What do we always say? What do we want in a modern day player? You want size, 3-and-D. That is the definition of Cam Johnson.
Like I saw someone say R.J. Barrett's getting paid the same as Cam Johnson. That the Nets overpaid. I'm like,
I'd rather have Cam Johnson.
I think all 30 GMs in the NBA would take Cam Johnson over R.J. Barrett.
Like, dude, like that Suns team that made the championship and was two games away.
They were stacked.
Like Bridges, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul, and Book. Like that was a team. Like he's a winning player.
Trey Jones back to San Antonio, 10 years, 10 mil a pop. Gabe Vincent leaves the Miami Heat, goes to the Lakers, and Yuta Watanabe, he is joining the Phoenix Suns, a guy we talked about. Watanabe, a great shooter from outside. Thought he could be a cheap steal for the Knicks. But reportedly, Kevin Durant loves Watanabe, and they have a good relationship, and that's why he is going to Phoenix. We'll break down more free agency signings around the corner, but Dildo sends in a super chat and says, FVV making more than $1 million per field goal percentage. I tweeted that out. I was like, this man is going to be making $40 million, and he's shooting 39% from the field.
That's crazy. I do think, however, for the Rockets' perspective, and you could disagree, it is an overpay.
Yes.
They need a veteran in that
They
building.
need a grown-up.
They need somebody where because Ime will set the culture. But there will be some sort of disconnect if you didn't have a veteran there. Like now VanVleet can go to Thompson, he can go to Jabari Smith, he can go to these other guys, be like, hey, this is how you do it. I won a championship. I know what it's been like. I've been in the NBA playoffs. I think people undervalue that a lot. Like we saw D Rose yesterday go to the Grizzlies for 2 years, $6 million.
Ja Morant.
Like
he's going to go mentor Ja Morant.
His job is to sit on the bench and to keep Ja in check. Like I think people undervalue that a lot.
Guns N' Roses on that team. No, I agree 100% with VanVleet. And the more I got off work yesterday, I was at the crib watching people talk, and I know people throw around new CBA. I'm not saying it to sound smart. It's just a fact. In the new CBA, there's a salary cap floor, meaning you have to spend X amount of dollars, and the Rockets pretty much got there by paying Fred VanVleet. So you get a veteran, you get an adult, and you meet a salary cap requirement.
And if you don't hit that requirement, doesn't it just get dispersed back into your roster?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Like so might as well give VanVleet. I mean,
like the players are going to get it still the same, but
and it's like the Rockets, they know they're not going to win this year. Like they know that's not going to be a thing. I think this is honestly to help the other guys develop. Like I know you can make the other argument where it's like, oh, it's going to take shots away from Thompson now. But then again, I would rather have my rookie taking 15 shots a game than 20 inefficient shots. Like I'd rather have him getting 15 good looks than 20 to 25, maybe him creating by himself.
I agree. Reek, $5 super chat says, longtime supporter, first time super chat. Reek, we appreciate you, bro. He says, I appreciate you guys for all that you do. This and Knicks Fan TV is my home for the best Knicks news. It is just an honor to be mentioned with Knicks Fan TV, CP over there. He's the GOAT. He paved the way. So shout out to CP, Knicks Fan TV, Alex, and all those guys over there. Reek, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for rocking and rolling with us here on Knicks Now. And I appreciate the kind words, man. We put a lot of work into this channel. It's my job to put a video on this channel every single day. And knowing that people like it and appreciate it, it means the world to me. So, Reek, salute. And thank you for the flowers, my man. Some other free agency moves here, Seeps. What do you make of these 4 moves?
One that sticks out to me, when we thought Herb Jones was going to come back.
Yeah, we knew that.
Really? I mean, again, like we're talking about second-round picks. I mean, great move for the Lakers. Like, I think Pelinka from last year's trade deadline, I think he's honestly knocked it out of the park.
I think the exact same thing. I think Rob Pelinka could be called the executive of the NBA since the NBA trade deadline. You got Rui Hachimura for a pair of second-round picks, and you turn him into a guy that's getting paid $17 million per year, was a great playoff performer, a guy that's not even close to the ceiling he's going to be in the NBA. Josh Richardson, a scrappy player. If you watch this channel, you know I'm a fan of Josh Richardson. I just like the grit and grind that he brings. He's a guy like DiVincenzo that helps you improve on the margins, and he's someone that is a Miami Heat player through and through, and he's back there in the 305. Shake Milton going to Minnesota gives them a little bit of an offensive firepower player off the bench. And Herb Jones is back again with New Orleans. I thought that was a little bit, they got him on a steal of a deal, I thought, Herb Jones right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of a player. I thought he was going to get 4 for $80 potentially.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get more from them as well. Good deal, though, for the Pelicans. Kevin Love joins Josh Richardson going back to the Miami Heat on a 2-year deal. TBD on how much money he's going to be getting paid. Cam Reddish. Good old Cam Reddish signs with the L.A. Lakers. He goes to the Clutch Factory, Clutch Sports L.A.
Yeah.
Look, if anybody can bring it out of Cam Reddish, maybe it's LeBron James. If it doesn't work out here, I unfortunately think Cam Reddish's time in the NBA may be done. Then Julian Champagnie is what I'm going to call him. Signs a 4-year, $12 million deal with the Spurs. And then maybe the biggest shocker, we understand it, but that doesn't mean it's not an overpay. Fred VanVleet,
Definitely
the max
still.
for 3 years.
Yeah, like you can. I still would have done it.
I understand it. I respect it, but it is an overpay.
Yeah, like I would have done it if I were still the Rockets. I just think you need a veteran in there. I just think they have too much AAU circus culture, but still, definitely an overpay there.
Reek says, I don't know if you guys still do the boot, but I was here for that during the Don Mitchell summer. Had me laughing for a month straight. We do still do the boot. We were doing boots yesterday on the show. We're up to $137 in Super Chats. I said if we get to 500, I would do a boot. So,
and how about this, Marsh? We do have new Happy Dads.
We do have new Happy Dads, which I am very intrigued to try.
If we get, let's just say, we're at 137 right now. What do you think? If we get a 50 or if we get to 200?
In.
Deal? If
Deal.
somebody sends in a 50 or we get the 200 total, we'll do a race. Because we do have new Happy Dads, and I'm kind of itching to try one.
I am too.
We could honestly lower these prices and we could do these, but I'm excited.
Jay Liv says, that was bad. Why you hating, bro? Why you hating, dog?
Come on, Jay.
What's the beef, Jay Liv? What's the beef, bro? As we got a $2 super chat from Mr. Mo. Mo Leister. You related to John Leister? Wasn't that his name? Former Cub?
Yeah, John Leister.
The worst pickoff move to first base in history, right? John Lester?
I love that guy.
Mo Lester with a $2 super chat says, will this still be a 9-man rotation? I know a lot of people are getting really wrapped up in the rotation. Remember, Seeps, we saw a dramatic change during the regular season last year. Fournier came out of the rotation. Nobody replaced him, and the Knicks went to that 9-man rotation, which featured Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, Robinson, Quickly. It was honestly McBride at the time, Obi, and then when Obi got hurt, it was Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to play X-Man rotation, which whatever he thinks is going to make the Knicks best.
Yeah.
Like if you sign DiVincenzo, yeah, you rock with the 9-man rotation of Quickly, Hart, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein. Jericho Sims should probably get some minutes. Maybe Isaiah Roby gets a couple of minutes. It could be 9. It could be 10. I think whatever Tom Thibodeau thinks is best for the New York Knicks, that's what he's going to do. It's not like he's coming into training camp seats. He's like, 9-man rotation or nothing. It's whatever he thinks is best.
And plus, it's going to change from regular season to postseason. Like, don't freak out if Tibbs is running 10 guys in the regular season. Everybody's lineups tighten up during the postseason. Like, the role players, the guys that come off the bench, they may be getting 20. Regular season, it's always kind of down to 10.
So, No. Maybe. Could be. Whatever Tom Thibodeau thinks is best is what he's going to do. I will not be surprised if it's 9. I would not be surprised if it's 10. And I will not be surprised in the playoffs if it's 8. Yeah. So, look, just because you did something last year doesn't mean you're going to do that same thing this year. It's a different team. It's a different club. Every year is different. Good question, though, ML. Peter Wynn, back again with a $5 super chat, says, the last DOS boot from yesterday is rough. Right, Martian Seatman.
Yeah, you are right. You are 100%
that last
right.
boot knocked me out, dude.
That was Marsh cutting deals, and then the deals firing right back in his face.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing about the boots, and you guys don't see the aftermath of this, I have to pee every 15 minutes.
Seriously, I did 2 boots yesterday. That's 6 beers or 6 Happy Dads.
Yeah, it's a lot of alcohol, but honestly,
it's the liquid. It's the amount of liquid.
Yes.
I'm talking about by the time I got home yesterday to coming into work today at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., I probably peed 6 times.
Probably. I mean, probably more.
Good peas.
Yeah.
Crystal peas. I don't know what that means. Crystal clear. I was hydrated, I think, or maybe it was just straight Happy Dad.
Yeah.
But Peter, yes, the last boots yesterday were tough.
Definitely.
They were tough.
What? Yo.
Is this Johnson you?
No, because look at the profile pic. Oh, my God. I thought this was Johnson you as well. They're laughing out there. It's Jeremy.
Jeremy?
It's Jeremy. I'm calling Jeremy 100%.
We got a $2 super chat coming in from Clitoris. Says, would you take Hero in a 3-team trade with Miami and Portland?
Clitoris?
Clitoris.
How do you pronounce that? Clitoris?
This isn't me.
This is 100% you.
This is 100%
Jeremy,
you.
Stop.
How do you know it's me?
Because it's a picture of Tyler Jones from your desk.
Come on. It's 100% Jeremy.
Oh, my God. With a $2 super chat says, would you take Hero in a 3-team trade with Miami and Portland? If the Knicks were the 3rd team, would I take Tyler Hero? Lord. That's pretty funny.
That's good stuff.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, Clitoris, thank you
Mo
so
Lester
much.
says, I am indeed Johnson you. So is Clitoris and Mo Lester the same person? There's a lot of burners going on right now.
Johnson Yu has 35 burners in his
Ridiculous.
YouTube. I think he just rotates.
John Borelli says Jur is being a menace.
Hey.
I thought we were going to get a bomb yesterday from Borelli when he said, Marsh, I'm always lurking.
I know.
And then he said, don't forget, I'm lurking.
Hey, Borelli, we do have a deal right now.
We do have a deal on the table.
We got new Happy Dads. And Marsh and I were kind of itching to, try a little bit. A $50 super chat. We're racing every 50.
Every $50 super chat, we're doing a beer shotgun race.
They're the Death Row Records Happy Dads. So
Borelli said I'm still lurking.
Oh.
That's sketchy.
I'm excited.
That's sketchy. Shout out to Clitoris. As Stoic J comes in with a 5-piece. Stoic, man, I appreciate the love today, boss. He said, what's the ceiling for Quentin Grimes? What do you think he could be in the future? He just seems like a regular 3-and-D player. We had those stats, I think, in there of Quentin Grimes when he gets, what it is. I don't necessarily think – I think the way that Grimes has played in the NBA so far, he is a 3-and-D player. But I don't think his ceiling is just that of a 3-and-D player. He has a little bit of a handle. We've seen his ability to get downhill. The guy was a 5-star recruit at the point guard spot coming out of high school. I know that's high school and it's way different than the NBA, but he clearly has some playmaking skills. But what the Knicks are asking him to do right now, they are putting him in, do a 3-and-D type of role. I think that he could be a starting shooting guard on a championship contender. That's my ceiling for Quentin Grimes, one of the best on-ball defenders in the league and a 40% shooter from 3. That's my ceiling for him, which pretty much outlines that I think he's a 3-and-D player. But I think he could be a starting starting 2 guard, next to Jalen Brunson on a team that can compete for an NBA title. I'm a huge fan of Quentin Grimes. I just like the way he plays the game. I think he is a winning player. I think he's a guy that just affects the game well beyond the box score and the stat sheet.
And plus, there's no, like, a 3-and-D player in the NBA. That's incredibly valuable.
Yes, it is. I'm high on Quentin Grimes, man. I am. JJ47K says Grimes moves too fast. I do think he needs to slow down at times. I do think he needs to slow down from time to time. But overall, I like what I've seen from Quentin Grimes in his first couple seasons in the NBA. The reason I think he can be more than just a guy that shoots threes is because when you look at this stat graphic right here, there was 25 games this year where Quentin Grimes had 10 or more shots. And in those 25 games, the guy averaged almost 18 points per game, shooting 8.5 threes per night, and knocked them down at a 41% clip. Like, we're not talking 20 shot attempts here.
Yeah.
We're not talking 15 shot attempts here. When the guy got 10 shot attempts or more, he's averaging 18 points per game, Seeps. That's got to be one of the best, like, margins in the NBA. 10 shots a game and you're averaging 17.8 points.
And I love his jump shot. Like, you guys can kind of see it in the background photo right now. He's got a super high release. Like, look at where, like, his arms are almost fully extended up in the air. And he, obviously, you can see it too. He shoots from his fingertips, which is incredibly important, just consistency shooting the basketball. And then plus, it's a quick release. So
he was one of the best shooters from the left corner in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think he shot like 48% from there. I think stoic that Quentin Grimes can be a starting shooting guard on the championship contender.
And there was a reason they said no to trading him. Like,
yeah, he was untouchable.
Like, there's a reason.
In those Donovan Mitchell talks. My man Bill says, yeah, like White Claws, but in a normal size can. I've had a few. Yeah, Happy Dads are similar to White Claws. Less carbonation is a big point on those.
And they have electrolytes.
They have electrolytes in them.
Kind of huge.
As the Jazz are trading center Damian Jones to the Cavaliers.
Okay.
So a little bit of news right there. The Utah Jazz are trading center Damian Jones to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me see how this video is doing. As Fernando Krieger, bang! He says, not happy Obi's getting traded. I hope Donte will sign with the Knicks. I'm not happy either, Fernando. I like Obi Toppin. I don't like the way his game evolved in the NBA. I always believed that Obi should have gone the Giannis or the Aaron Gordon route. Get stronger and play from the free throw line down early on in your career. Become an elite finisher. Become an elite rebounder. Strengthen up so you can play some defense against some fours and if you get switched on to a 5. Obi went a different way. And maybe that was because that's what the Knicks told him he had to do. Obi prioritized shooting from the outside, which is fine. If you can knock down threes in the NBA, it's going to go a long way for you. I just think that Obi should have focused more as a downhill attacker. And I think that Obi's going to be able to showcase that a little bit more in Indiana. I honestly think Indiana may have been the best spot for Obi to go to. And I don't want to say I predicted it, but in the Obi Toppin Trade Destinations video we put out on the channel yesterday, and we did it our live show back on Tuesday, I said the number one trade destination for Obi was the Indiana Pacers. I felt like I've known that this was coming for quite some time. Stinks. Like, he was a New Yorker. He was a Knick. He was a top 10 pick. He was someone we invested in, someone we wanted to see be great. And it just unfortunately never happened. I mean, his ceiling was cut because of Julius Randle. Like, Randle and Obi proved that they weren't the most efficient lineup. Tom Thibodeau lets you know time and time again that he didn't really feel comfortable playing Obi and Randall together. I'm sad Obi's gone. I'm happy, though, as we got the new Happy Dads Death Row. We've been looking for these for a minute. Honestly, I think it still might be in B. We got our new, yesterday we ran out of Happy Dads. They're back today. Shout out to you guys. But overall, Fernando, I think me, you, and a lot of Knicks fans are sad that Obi Toppin is no longer going to be a Knick. I know I am for sure. I loved watching Obi play. He was fun. He was electric. He was entertaining. I just don't know if the long-term fit was best for the Knicks. I will say, though, I am happy Obi's going to get to go to a team where he's going to be able to play and be himself. I am happy about that. Yeah, I know. On face value, the deal looks bad. You're like 2 second-round picks for Obi Toppin. But, like, I don't know. Fernando, we'll do the beer, shotguns, coming up in a second. The Grape Happy Dads limited flavor. Shout out to Death Row Records. As we did get a $2 super chat from Ice Wallow Comb.
Good profile picture. My boy Io. Even though he's probably not coming back to Chicago.
Nah, he's back. I think with Beverly gone, that opens up a spot for Io.
Maybe.
You have a lot of the same point guards.
A lot of the same like archetype dudes. Like
Io,
Carter and Caruso.
Carter and Caruso are the same player.
Yeah, I listened to his breakdown about Carter coming. He was like, expect the Bulls to be one of the more annoying teams to play during the regular season because they could run those three at the same time. Defensively, they're going to be.
You could damn near press with those two guys at the same time and then just have a rotation of one out, one in, one out, one in.
They're going to get after it. But do you think Tibbs is the problem here?
Oh, shit, I didn't even read the question. I was mesmerized by the name of Ice Wallow Cum. Do you...
Oh, my God. I just put that together.
You did not know that's what...
Is this Jeremy? This is Jeremy.
I think this is Johnson Yu.
I think this is Jeremy.
I
think he's throwing us a curveball throwing Io on here.
He doesn't know who Io DeSumo is.
I don't know. He's produced a couple bowls.
Has he?
Yeah, like... I think this is Jeremy.
Do you think Tibbs is the... No. No, I don't think Tom Thibodeau is the problem. I think there is a ceiling with Tom Thibodeau. I don't think the Knicks have reached that ceiling, though. He says, Johnson is my friend, perhaps. Is this Jeremy?
I think this is Jeremy.
Not Johnson, you?
I'm going Jeremy. My money's on Jeremy.
I don't think Tibbs is the problem. I think there's a ceiling with Thibodeau as your coach. I don't think the Knicks have come close to that ceiling, though.
Nah.
I don't. Ice Wallow Cum, I appreciate you. Nelson Joseph with a $5 super chat. Nelson, we appreciate you. He sent in an emoji of a lemon character holding his hand in front of his mouth, grinning. Nelson, we appreciate you. You have entered the giveaway for our Knicks Now Real One t-shirt. Nelson, thank you, brother. Jay Liv with a $2 super chat says, what time is it? It's Grimes time.
What time is it? It's Grimes.
I'd like to see more minutes for Grimes consistently. I know he got a good chunk of minutes in the regular season, but not just minutes, also usage. I'd like to see Quentin Grimes be involved more in this offense. As So Real 13
My man.
comes in with a $50 super chat. So Real 13, we appreciate you, boss. He says, drink up, fellas. Marsh had to change my name since you couldn't pronounce it, my last name. But do you believe Melo got his number? What was your old username? What was your old?
Always So Real?
Huh?
Isn't it always So Real? Yeah, because I got him on the wheel.
What was it? Was it just So Real something else?
Maybe.
That's funny as hell. I'm just not that smart of a guy. So if I'm not able to pronounce your name, it's my fault. I'm a big dummy. I'm a big dumb white guy.
Big dumb.
Big dumb guy. Drink up, fellas.
Oh
yeah. Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know. Steven. Suriel? Surreal?
I think it was surreal. Like,
That's why he put
yeah,
so real right there. Steven Surreal. I got you, brother. Drink up, fellas. Marshall, I had to change my. Do you believe Melo gets his number retired?
I hope so.
I don't know. I would like it. I think it would be cool. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be a lot of intrigue around the Knicks if that happened. As the Cavaliers, okay, that's nothing. Can you retire someone's jersey that didn't even get you to the conference finals? I'm trying to be objective here. My heart says yes.
I think also retiring jerseys is like, who is the face of the Knicks in the 2010s?
That's fair.
I think it's Melo.
That's fair.
Like, and when you see a Melo 7, like, could another player wear 7 for the Knicks and have it be, like, not weird? Like, could they make it their number?
No.
Then I think it's probably, you got to
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think they are going to retire his number.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should be, as I think his number needs to retire in Denver first. Well, Jokic is wearing that number, so it's not being retired.
Yeah, seriously.
And Jokic has already done more with that number than Melo
Could you
did.
imagine that? Hey, Yoke, you got to change numbers.
Jokic, you got to change your number. Melo's being retired.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it does. I believe it does. Not sure if it should be, though. Not sure if it should be. City Burt says, fair to say this is basically Obi for DDV. Obi for Donte DiVincenzo and 2 picks? I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
You can look at it like that. Obi going out, 2 picks, and DiVincenzo coming in. I think that's fair to say. City Burt, we appreciate the super chat, bro.
Like, what if this trade is, here, let me put it on the screen real quick. Like, what if this trade, at the end of the day, it says Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier and like you're also sending one of the seconds you got. So let's just say your Knicks are getting 1 second and Donte DiVincenzo for Obi, and you're dumping Fournier's contract. I think everybody's saying that's a win.
Yeah. Jose says, relax on Tibbs. He got Knicks to the playoffs. All faith on Tibbs. We freed money. I don't think I said anything bad about Tibbs. He may be talking to someone in the comments, but someone asked if Tibbs is the problem. I'm saying no, but I do think Tom Thibodeau has a ceiling as a head coach.
I think Tibbs had a great year this past year, even in the playoffs. He schooled Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
And honestly, the Miami series,
it's the best defense they played in the East.
And we had a problem with the game plan at first defensively, but it kind of ended up working out. I mean, if the Knicks just brought it offensively,
yeah, the Knicks hit shots.
They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe the Finals.
My man Mel says we got to have standards. Ewing was drafted by the Knicks, and I understood why he got retired in the Raptors, but Melo would be just celebrating playoff failures. I hear that side.
I get it. That's a tough debate. I bet if you ask Knicks fans, I bet you it's like 60-40.
I would say most people would probably say yes. I think most people would probably say yes. Happy Dad, Death Row Records. Shout out to Happy Dad, not a sponsor, should be a sponsor. We give you more views than you've probably ever got in your life.
Honestly,
even though Full Send gets a lot of views. All right, City Burt, we'll get to your super chat coming up in a second. After every $50 super chat, we're going to shotgun beers. We're going to do one race because Fernando sent in a $50 super chat. We'll do another one for So Real. So we'll do one, then we'll wait about a couple of minutes, then we'll do another one. If you super chat on today's show, we're just going to pop it up on screen, myself and Seeps. We'll talk about it for a couple of minutes. So. Dude, that smells like I'm eating a grape.
I love it.
Good vibes?
I'm excited right now.
All righty. Shout out to So Real. Shout out to Fernando. We got another one coming in a second. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! It's intriguing.
Maybe it's a better sip, but like, kind of tastes like coffee.
A little bit. It's a strong grape flavor. Very strong grape flavor. I don't know where trash is. Maybe just go grab one from out there. If I had to rate this Happy Dad on a scale of 1 to 10, .8. 6.8. Maybe we need to try it out in more of a sip fashion. This is what the tool does. It just puts a hole in it. It does the childish key punch thing for you. I don't hate it. I don't hate them. Very grapey. Like, and not like, it almost tastes like a little bit like cough syrup grapey.
We'll run it back in a couple seconds here because we got another one.
We do have another one. We'll run it back. What other flavor do we got out there? They actually came out with a Happy Mom instead of a Happy Dad, and that's raspberry.
We could try a Happy Mom.
A raspberry one sounds. I'm a huge raspberry guy. Blue raspberry, best candy flavor out there by far.
Definitely. Like the lollipops, the blue raspberry lollipops.
Blue is the best color of candy.
Yeah.
I'm going blue and then red if red is strawberry.
I'd go grape.
Really?
I go grape.
So you're going grape and you didn't like these?
I love it. Let me get another one because I love grape. Like when I smelled that, dude, I was like, this might be my favorite.
So like grape Gatorade's high on your list or no?
Yeah, grape Gatorade's up
like,
there.
What grape flavored item do you like the most?
Grape flavored item.
Like what's the one where it's like that's the grape I'm looking for?
Like, dude, like the freezy ices, like the ices, like the grape ices.
That come in like the clear tube?
Yeah, like
Okay.
those grape ones are like
Like the
one of
things
the
we had
best
as
things.
kids?
Yes. Like
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Like where you rip the top off and it's like that long cylinder. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ice pops or whatever.
Even like a little lemon lime, I've always been a fan of, like a little green.
Okay, yeah, no, I think if I had to rank my favorite colors of candy or any flavor,
ice.
it's blue, red, and then yellow, green for me.
Yeah.
Lemon lime or green apple.
Yeah, flavor ice. Yeah, flavor ices were the main
Flavor ice.
thing.
Brian knows.
He knows.
Brian knows.
Otter Pops.
Birch Cuber says, what happened? Obi Toppin has been traded. You can see it at the bottom of your screen. Obi Toppin has been traded from the New York Knicks to the Indiana Pacers for 2 second-round picks. If you want my live reaction, you can go check out the video on the channel. It went out about an hour ago. You can go check that out as it is up on the channel. As Dwight Powell is back to the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year, $12 million deal.
They're making some great moves, man.
I like what the Dallas Mavericks have been doing in NBA free agency.
They needed to, though.
The Seth Curry move was tough.
Oh, I forgot they got Seth. And they still have their mid-level exception. Keep that in mind. Could the Mavs fleece DiVincenzo, the MLE?
No.
I know that would be Marsh's nightmare.
I would be in shambles. I would be in absolute shambles. As we did get a couple more super chats, City Burt said if you can replace Tibbs, what is the alternative? Yeah, Jay Wright, bring him in. Can we get Jay Wright to the Knicks?
That's been our pipe dream this whole time. Like, that's funny.
Yes, City Burt, Jay Wright. Another guy, maybe Johnny Bryant, the guy that's sitting on your bench.
Johnny Bryant's one of those guys. He's got a good name.
Good
Like
coach
Johnny,
name.
like Johnny Bryant. That's just a good name for a coach.
Has every vacancy been filled?
Bucks, yes.
Do the
Suns?
Raptors have a coach? Doc Rivers is still out there. Y'all want Doc Rivers?
Yeah, it's Darko Rajakovic.
I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, Darko.
Darko. Milicic? Former second-round pick?
Shout out Darko.
T-Money says Ty Lue. Ty Lue would be sick.
Ty Lue's
I would love Ty Lue. I don't see the Clippers letting him go.
What? I think Ty Lue's a top 5 coach in the league.
King James says Ty Lue next year. Is he is his contract up or something? Is he going to get fired?
Is he a free agent?
Oh, free agent coaching buzz? I would take Ty Lue.
Ty Lue's a top 5 coach in the league. So.
Ty Lue, Jay Wright, Johnny Bryant. That's my top 3.
Either 3 of those, you're popping a bottle of champagne.
You're getting happy. Nelson Joseph with a $10 super chat. Nelson, we appreciate it, my man.
Thank
He
you.
says, Knicks waiting for other teams to unload their assets. Then Zion requested trade and the Knicks move in.
Not a bad thought. Not a bad thought.
I don't know about Zion, dude. I understand the thought. If you're going to risk it on somebody, risk it on someone that has MVP potential.
Yeah.
But, man, the injuries and everything, they scare me a little bit.
The baby mama drama.
Yeah.
But maybe Zion needs a change of scenery. Still got unreal talent. There is not another NBA player in the league that sits at 280 marks that has a 45-inch vertical that is literally like a trampoline. Like, he is the only person in the league that is him. He is unique, which unique always wins. It's double R.
Rob Rodriguez
Welcome
is
in the
in
chat.
the building. Rob Rodriguez is in the building. Rod, we got some new happy dads. We're ready to party,
We
brother.
also got happy moms. That's not even a bit. They're literally called happy moms.
These ones are dads.
Those are dads.
We got happy moms as well.
We could do that.
So we got moms, we got dads. We even have a couple of happy kids around here pretty soon. Nelson, I'm scared of Zion Williamson. I'm scared. Robert,
That's a perfect response, double R.
Rob,
I will say this, though, Nelson, and to kind of piggyback off your point, you can't, like, you're going to have to risk it eventually. Like
you cannot sit on your hands forever.
like you always say it, there's no perfect player.
There is no perfect players.
So,
King James asked, do I think he's faking injury?
no.
No way, right?
Maybe, I don't think you fake it, but maybe it's a thing where it's like if he's in a better organization and a team he wants to be around, maybe he ends up playing a little bit more. Lowell thinks so.
Lowell thinks he's faking it and he swears. I swear.
Speaking of Lowell.
Hello, LB.
First
$10
time.
super chat. First ever super chat from Lowell B. We appreciate it, homie. He says, I just got into live streams recently, and you guys are the first sports stream I followed. So far, it's been a blast. Let's
Awesome.
bring out the boot tonight because you're getting cooked again tonight, bruh. We're $210 away from the
Holy
boot.
shit. Oh, that's hilarious. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Thank you. Shout out to you.
LB, we appreciate it, homie. We are $210 away from a boot. We're at $290. I said if we got to $500, I would do the boot, and we're doing it for Lowell at this point if we do it. Thanks for rocking and rolling with us. Thanks for giving us a chance.
Hell yeah.
We're going to continue to do our best. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort into this, so when it's appreciated, it means a lot to us. So,
Definitely.
LB, thank you, and thank you for the very generous contribution, man. It means a lot to us. We appreciate you, bro. Jay Liv coming in with a super chat says, you can't retire Melo without retiring Bernard King. That's fair. That's fair. And I kind of agree with that. And that's why I was so careful about the words I was choosing when talking about retiring Carmelo Anthony's jersey, because there's been other great Knicks that haven't had their jersey retired. I just don't know if you don't even get to the finals or you don't even get to the conference finals, can you get your jersey retired? But I thought Seeps made a great point. Could anybody make number 7 of their own for the New York Knicks? And while I said no, maybe one day, maybe 10, 20 years from now.
Maybe Nuggets fans were saying the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
nobody would ever make 15 the way it is until Jokic came around. But I just feel like if you're thinking about iconic players of the Knicks, you think
You think of Carmelo.
Yes. Like, he's on that short list. Like Melo in the Garden. Like, I think of that all the time. Like, Luca can wear 7.
Well, Sully says Luca can wear 7.
Yeah, he can. Luca would look good in 7 on New York. I like that.
That would hurt a little bit. That would hurt a little bit.
Not when you're the 1 seed in the East.
Man, oh man. Jay Liv, we appreciate it. Should we knock down this other Happy Dad?
Let's do it.
This is our Super Chat menu. A $5 Super Chat enters you in the raffle for our Knicks Now t-shirt. $100 Super Chat. We've actually sliced that in half. We're doing deals right now. Every $50 Super Chat, we're doing a shot fundraise between myself and producer Patrick Seatman. Also, Rob Rod, I'm not sure if he's still in the building. He has run away with the MVP. He is going to get a Knicks jersey of his choice. We will send that to him. We will sign it as well. And I said if we got to 500 in total, I would do the boot. We're at 290, which means we're 210 away from doing the boot, which is 3 Happy Dads in a boot, and we chug. And we chug. So we'll do that. Oh! John Borelli! Bang! John Borelli with a $200 super chat. He said, told you I was lurking. When are my Warriors doing something? John Borelli, a GOAT in the building. Shout out to John Borelli, a chat sports icon.
Dude.
No, it's not.
Now it's not him.
This is definitely not Jeremy
This
Chuggs.
is 100% now not Jeremy.
As John Borelli says, when are my Warriors doing something? What's going on with the Warriors, Seeps?
I mean, I threw out the Brook Lopez thing, but he obviously went back to the Bucks. I'm not really too sure. I think the Warriors are kind of content with where they are.
I think they've already made their moves.
Yeah, I think their move was Chris Paul, which I've
come around to it.
Me too. I think it's going to work out. I think, it's a smart basketball organization, smart basketball mind, and Chris Paul. They'll figure out the X's and O's. So I think you're in a good spot, JB. I mean, there's a reason the Warriors, I think, are 4th in title odds for next year. So, they'll be fine.
What is it? Dario Saric is a name we've heard a lot. Borelli, that's a good point. I know the Chat Sports crew that covers the Warriors for us, Chase Sr. and Jack Lauderay, they have talked up and down about Dario Saric. But I want to ask you, John, in the comments, what else do you think the Warriors need? What else do the Warriors need to contend? He says, I'm not satisfied. And you shouldn't be. You would, if you're the Warriors, you should be going all in around Chris Paul and Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond. What else do you think they need? Is it a big man? Size and defense, he says. So, a backup center? A backup center? I could see that. I could see a backup center. I think you're kind of hoping Kuminga and Moody become a lethal duo for you.
I mean, you were hoping Wiseman was that, but obviously
I actually did see that they had some interest in Wiseman.
Bringing him back?
Again, yeah, I've seen that on Twitter. Is there a guy that you're looking at, Borelli, that you want them to bring in? I know you talked about Saric. I wouldn't call Saric a defender, but he's some size and he gives you some offensive versatility. Let me see if there's a free agents left. I can't even search on Twitter because Elon Musk. It's ridiculous. Borelli. John Borelli. With a $200 super chat. We appreciate you, Borelli. As we had another $10 super chat come in from Ice Wallow Come. $10 super chat. He said, might as well. This is Jeremy Chuggs. This is not Jeremy Chuggs. There is no way this is Jeremy Chuggs. Borelli says, thank God Poole is gone. Yeah, I don't think you had to get rid of Jordan Poole, in my opinion. It worked during the title run. The styles are too different.
And if they're going to bring back Draymond, it's just, there's too much there. You can't sock somebody in the face and then just expect to be able to work with them. Like, Marsh, could you imagine? Like, let's just say me and you get in a fight. And, like, listen, guys are going to fight. You can get in a fight. You can get in shoving matches. You can even, like, but when you cross the line of full-on haymakering somebody.
And he, like, kind of snuck him a little bit.
Yeah, like, it wasn't like, hey, put your hands up, we're going. Like, it was like, oh, we're jawing. And then it was like, nah, I'm rocking you.
Yeah, he just rushed him.
I just honestly don't think you can come back from that. Like,
yeah. And, like, the Warriors are all about smart, efficient, and high IQ players. And I'm just not sure Jordan Poole checks any of those boxes.
yeah. Talent. Unreal talent.
Very talented offensive player, but he's very hot and cold.
Yeah, streaky guy.
Nelson says you can't have any splash without a Poole. I don't see a lie.
That is a good
I
point.
don't see a lie right there. You might get a splash from the ice tub because his face was probably in that after he got rocked by Draymond Green. Green sent him into next week. That was bad.
That was bad.
He fucked his face.
Also, I can't believe out of that whole thing, the number one thing, how does that video get
How does that video get out?
in such a, like, think about the Warriors in terms of, like, just businesses in the country. They are one of the bigger businesses and, like, one of the more well-ran businesses, and they let that video get out. I'm telling you, his TMZ offered some video coordinator $100,000.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I got this video of Draymond punching Poole. Like, that's funny.
Wild. I swallow cum. We appreciate your super chat, Jeremy Chugs. Nelson back again. My man Nelson's been an MVP today.
Shout out to Nelson.
Shout out to Nelson. We appreciate you, bro. He said, what contract terms do you think the Knicks should extend quickly for?
Great question. I like Nelson's super chat because he.
They're good questions.
They're great questions and they spark conversation. Shout out to you, Nelson. I appreciate you.
If I'm quickly, I'm asking for 4 for 100.
At least that's the number that came in my head.
Like, that's what I would start it at. And there was a report that came out that he was looking for $100 million. I mean, we've seen some players get paid in the past 48 hours.
Yeah.
Or I guess 24 hours. It's barely been 24 hours of free agency. 4 for 100? 5 for 100? Like, I don't think he's getting less than $20 million a year.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell just got 18.5, and I think Quickly's better than D'Angelo Russell. And he's younger, and he's a better defender.
I would say, though, if let's just say Quickly has another clunker in the postseason, maybe that number goes down.
Yeah, maybe that number goes down. That's a fair point. What about if Quickly plays in the postseason this upcoming year like he played in the regular season, though, this past year? Just not even what he's going to do in the regular season this year. What he did last year in the regular season is what he does in the postseason this year. That man could ask for 5 years, 130.
Honestly, yeah. Solely saying I want to see that Jordan Kerr video. That would be awesome. J2DAB. What do you think that means, Marsh?
I think he's talking to someone in the chat. He says, who cares about Warriors? Gotcha. We're here talking about the NBA.
Talking hoops.
We're talking about the NBA. So I'm sorry if that is upsetting to you guys that we're talking about the NBA. Overall, though, if I'm Quickly, I'm asking for $100 million, whether that's over 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah. He deserves it. I mean, it's just what the going rate is. Right now.
It's what it costs to play. That's the price of play. So I think you got to do it. I think you bring him back, but I wouldn't be surprised if Quickly is a major piece in a trade when the Knicks maybe one day eventually do trade for that superstar, which they've been building up for a long, long time at this point. OG Gabunski with a $5 super chat. Says, so we get rid of Toppin before Evan. Thoughts? I wouldn't look at it like that.
No. I think you made a good point. Maybe the seconds could be used to move.
Yeah, maybe the seconds you get from Obi are used to be the picks you used to get off of Evan Fournier's deal. You know why the Knicks traded Obi Toppin? He didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
The role he wanted was not here. He didn't have a good relationship with Tom Thibodeau. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Like, a player doesn't want to be here. He doesn't have a good relationship with the coach.
Let's move on.
And he wants a bigger role. At the end of the day, I think that's why he got traded. The Knicks were going to add someone in free agency. I believe it's going to be Donte DiVincenzo. And if you're going to add someone, and Tibbs wants to stick to that 9-man rotation, somebody has to be out. So why not trade the guy that wants out, wants a bigger role, and doesn't have a good relationship with the coach? And maybe the most important, Seeps, is he is a free agent this upcoming free agency.
Yeah.
The Knicks did not want to run the risk of losing him for nothing because they're going to have Quickly as a free agent and they're going to have Toppin as a free agent, and they weren't going to pay both those guys a lot of money. That would be totally running it back, and I don't know if they want to do that. As Rob Rodriguez in the chat says, Hart is recruiting Lillard. I did see that. Josh Hart tweeted at Damian Lillard and said hi.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't know if it works.
It just wouldn't work. You just wouldn't win a title. You just wouldn't.
I don't think you would either.
It would be fun. You would win a lot of games in the regular season.
You would be fun.
But that's a type of team where I would want Mike D'Antoni to be the coach and not Tibbs. Like, I would want it to be like the 2018 Rockets with Harden and Chris Paul. Like, that just doesn't fit well.
It would be cool, though, to have someone else that could average 30 and yeah, that would be fun. Jamie Bell says Brunson's better. Hey, you don't got to convince me. You don't got to convince me. So we're going to do this beer shotgun, and then I owe a boot because John Borelli sent in that $200 super chat. So we'll do a happy dad, then give me a second, and then we're going to do a boot. We're going to do a boot. Do we want to do the T-shirt raffle now, or do we wait until maybe someone's signed? I think we should wait till someone's signed.
I say we do it. Like, I'll keep the name. I'll slack it to myself.
That's a good idea. Woo! Low LB says, Das Boot. We're getting close. And by close, I mean minutes. I'll be doing it in minutes. Bobby Peter says, hello, Knicks fans. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Bobby.
I don't know if I'm a fan.
Really?
I'm a little disappointed. I love Great, but like, it's like Halloween.
They're not great.
They're not great.
They're not great. They're intriguing.
They are intriguing. Maybe this might be the Uzi album. It's better with time.
All righty. Here we go. John Borelli. Cheers, Borelli. And also, we don't like drinking alone. So if you're rocking with us, you're over 21, or you're watching with your parents and you're not 21, start drinking. Let's go. They got something.
Dude, it's like, it's cold.
Old puncture. You know which ones might be my favorite? The fruit punch. The fruit punch we're on. I don't like fruit punch as a flavor. Lemon lime is good. Lemon lime is good for shotgunning too. Oh, I needed that. I needed that. Feelings to Footage Media says Charlotte here. What up, Charlotte? What up, Char? The big Char? All righty. Seeps, you want to lead us through recapping what's going on in NBA free agency so far?
Yeah, we'll get you guys caught up. This was the moves that kind of started late last night. Jackson Hayes went to the Lakers, who, actually, shout out to Jackson Hayes. I've Had a couple conversations with him. Super nice guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was friends with a dude who played at Xavier. Super cool guy. Shocked Pelicans kind of let him walk like that. And then my man Sasha, I didn't know who this was, but this is the EuroLeague MVP. Watched a 10-minute highlight tape on him. He is fun to watch. Dennis Smith Jr. going to the Brooklyn Nets. Good pickup for them. And then Vasilij Michik? I don't know how you pronounce that, but
No idea.
Pretty sizable deal for
That's
the
a
Thunder.
huge deal for a guy like him.
Yeah, coming from overseas, so I think that was solid. The Heat stay active. The Heat have been one of the more active teams here throughout free agency. They got Thomas Bryant back on a 2-year deal. And then D'Lo. Shocked that D'Lo got this much. D'Lo getting a 2-year, $37 million deal, especially where he was pretty much damn near unplayable in the Western Conference Finals.
He was bad, dude.
But the Lakers are showing confidence in him. So I guess that makes sense, but I wouldn't have given him that much. And then Pat Bev, 1-year deal. Pat Bev actually broke this own news on his podcast, so it was pretty cool. And it was funny. The dude he does his podcast with is a big 76ers fan, and he's been recruiting him to the Sixers throughout the whole time. So kind of a cool little tidbit on the Pat Bev signing. But then Brook Lopez, massive deal. 2 years, $48 million going back to the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm a big fan of Brook Lopez. I think he's a top 5 center in the NBA. I think he's one of the better winning players in the league. I mean, if you have a center that can run three-point line to rim protection over and over again, it is incredibly valuable. Like, I think people undersell Brook Lopez's impact on the basketball court. This dude averaged 18 a game last year. And if you remember Brook Lopez back in his Brooklyn Nets days, the dude was a legit 25 and 10. Like, the Bucks have one of the more loaded teams in the league. I fully expect them to be back in at least the Eastern Conference Finals next season. And then Austin Reeves, slightly underpaid by the Los Angeles Lakers, but pretty cool story. Undrafted guy. He gets the bag, gets 4 years, $56 million. And then LaMelo gets that massive rookie extension, which these deals, and like, that's why I'm shocked these like smaller teams signed up for this new CBA, is like, you're going to give LaMelo Ball $52 million over the next 5 years. Like, that is, if the second peak is at like, what is it, like 170 something? Like, you get LaMelo at 52 a year. Like, I just don't know what Charlotte, you have to, but I don't know. I just think this new CBA, I think we're going to see the impacts here starting to come to fruition. But LaMelo goes back. Then Wagner goes back to the Magic 2 years for $16 million. And then the Bucks, another good pickup. Even though Jay Crowder was out of the rotation last year in the playoffs, he comes back for a 1-year deal.
Oh, Crowder back to the Bucks. I missed that.
Yeah, Crowder back to the
Was
Bucks.
that last night or today?
Today, like probably 30 minutes ago, yeah.
As the Blazers have made a statement saying, we have been clear that we want Dame here, but he notified us today he wants out and he'd prefer to play somewhere else. What has not changed for us is that we're committed to winning, and we are going to do what's best for the team in pursuit of that goal. And then if you are not upset about the Obi Toppin trade, this might make you upset. Tyrese Halliburton just tweeted out and said, I'm going to be on my Mahomes, Tyreek, oh my God, F it, Obi up there somewhere.
I hate Halliburton.
I freaking hate Tyrese Halliburton.
I can't stand that guy.
He's a freaking loser. Fake-ass all-star. F Tyrese Halliburton, for real.
God, that's annoying. Oh, God. Pacers are going to be fun. I forget who super chatted earlier, but they're going to be fun to watch on League Pass.
I freaking hate Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, that's disappointing.
IWC, I agree. Wally should have never apologized. Halliburton's a piece. He's a piece.
He is a piece.
He's a freaking piece.
He's a role player.
Man.
Obi allowed spacing. Offense flowed naturally with Obi.
Yeah, you know why Obi allows space? Because he can't score with the ball in his hands unless it's an alley-oop or a catch and shoot.
What is this fascination with him? Like, was I watching different games this past season?
He's from New York. He's drafted by the Knicks.
Oh, yeah. CJ, yeah, I agree. F. Halliburton, that is a W tweet, though.
It is.
It's
That's why it hurts.
I don't know.
That's why it hurts, CJ. Trav says we got 0. We actually got 2 second-round picks.
Yeah, if you would have waited till next summer, you legitimately would have
Would have got
0.
nothing.
Yeah, so.
Because he was leaving.
Yeah. Again, just rip that Band-Aid off. I know it sucks, but like you got 2 second-round picks.
King Joss says I would have traded Obi to Philly for Tobias Harris. Philly is not making that trade.
And that's a big contract.
Do we think that's what Obi Toppin's value is? Tobias Harris? A guy that's averaged 20 points per game and been pretty much a 50, 40, 90 guy?
Yeah, like I liked Tobias when he was calling Sixers fans casuals or whatever. He was like, I'm 6'9". I can put the ball on the deck. I'm a 3-and-D guy. Like, yeah.
Joseph says the Obi hate is crazy. These guys swear they know what they're talking about. Hey, Joseph, you know what's crazy? You're watching 2 guys that think they know what they're talking about. Your life must be miserable.
And the thing is, we told y'all about Jalen Brunson last summer when he signed, and everybody's freaking out. We want Mitchell. Listen, I mean, if you just go look at the track record here,
We've been pretty freaking spot on.
we've kept y'all in the loop of what's going to happen. And when Donte DiVincenzo signs, I'm not even going to get into it right now.
It's okay, Joseph. If I were you, I'd be upset too. If I were you, I would be upset too. News of the day, though, Obi Toppin is traded from the Knicks to the Pacers for 2 second-round picks. Fill the boot.
Send a call out there.
I love calling that out there.
Fill the boot.
Fill the boot. I got a boot. Michael, with maybe the best quote question of the day, why you watching, Joseph?
Facts.
If you don't like what you're watching, you don't have to watch. It's okay.
And also, why are we tripping over the backup 4? Like, I've never
Because
seen
every
a fan
great title team has a great backup
The
4.
Nuggets didn't have a backup 4. Hate to break it to you guys. They ran Christian Brown at the 4 when Aaron Gordon and MPJ were on the bench. Like,
They had Jeff Green at the backup 5.
like,
What's
Why are
the
we
key to
tripping
being a
right
championship team?
Backup
Your backup power forward.
Come on.
Who's the backup power forward for the Heat? Do they have one?
They were running Kevin Love at the starting 4. Like,
Something Highsmith. Highsmith.
Hayward Highsmith was their
Hayward
backup 4.
Highsmith was the backup 4 for the Miami
Come on,
Heat.
y'all.
Come on, I know it's sad. I'm not happy about Obi leaving either. But look, guys, it ain't the end of the world. It ain't.
Shout out to Bill.
Shout out to Bill.
Shout out to Bill.
Bill, I appreciate the shout out you gave me yesterday for retweeting your tweet. You know I got your back, Bill. You know I got your back.
Bill's a great Twitter follow. Bill's a good Twitter follow.
Trav says, you guys don't think giving away your number 8 lottery pick for 2 second-round picks is trash?
This is exactly what I was talking about. The guard, like the first-round pick shield that
Yeah.
people have. Like,
that would be like saying this. So you're telling me you're only going to take $100,000 back for a car that you bought for $250,000
Yep,
3 years later?
yep.
Once you drive the car off the lot, the
Yep.
price goes down. Once you pick someone in the first round and you wait 3 years, the price goes down unless
Also-
they played really well, which he didn't.
Are we acting like Obi wasn't pouting in the playoffs last season?
Is it? Watermelon. Jeremy Chugs.
Damn it.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Promise you're going to be honest.
Yes.
Are you ice swallow cum?
No, I'm not. I'm
You're not?
I'm not.
Might as well. This is Jeremy Chugs.
This is not me. That was not me.
Oh, Jeremy.
I wouldn't just out myself like that.
We
That's
thought
what
it
we
was
said.
you until that.
Yeah.
We thought it was you until that.
Honestly, if you said nothing, they probably would have thought you were me.
Oh, my goodness.
We were convinced for a little bit it was you.
I swallow cum. Garrett, it is
Johnson.
official. He is not Chugs.
It's official.
It's Johnson
It
you.
is Johnson
It's Johnson you. He outed himself.
So Johnson
He outed
you-
himself.
He went with the IO profile
That's
pick
like-
to throw us off.
That's like getting pulled over by the cops, and he's like licensed, and you're like, I haven't had anything to drink. All right,
Agreed.
well,
Yeah,
step
it's-
out of the car.
It's Johnson, you that bastard.
I agree. Jeremy, thank you for the boot, my friend. 3 happy dads. We're taking a boot. Shout out to the Carbonation. All righty.
Here we go.
Borelli said, what up, Chugs? He said, what's good, Borelli? What's up, JB? All righty.
Here we go.
If you're subscribed to the channel, I want you to type me in the comment section right now. Let's get the comment section flowing. We'll continue to break down everything surrounding free agency coming up in a second. But we got to pay our dues. It's time to do this boot.
Let's go. Type me if you're subbed. Happy dad boot on the way. Just living in the Matrix. Type in his me in the comments section. Lorenzo Henry, type in me. Mitch hates Rolly, confirm me. I swallow cum, type in Rockets. Dylan Brooks. Is that the news? Yeah, Dylan Brooks heading to the Rockets.
Dude, you can't just say his name like that.
You were doing it. Pedro Espinosa.
Oh, my God. That made me freaking laugh.
Rockets are signing Dylan Brooks. Jake Mortimer, type in me. Travi Trav, saying LMFAO. Mark Ratliff, type in me. Fernando Krieger, type in me. Ty Busy, call him something else. I'm just calling him by his name, King Ja. We're just calling it how it is. Fabian Williams, type in me. Mr. Beam King, type in me. Low end, exactly. This is a net management. Yeah, Fabian, Dylan Brooks to Houston. It's looking like it. Brooks, another solid vet leader. Yeah, I don't know if he's the vet you want in your locker room, but they're making moves. They're adding some grit over there in Houston. They're going to be another fun league pass team this year. So, yeah, Dylan Brooks. Apparently, it could be a sign and trade.
Oh, that hurt.
Houston going to be all right. Yeah, they're not going to be a bad team. Brooks a bum. Yeah, he challenged LeBron in the playoffs last year. That did not work out too well for him. Did not work out too well. Here we go.
That hurt, Seeps.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that. Oh, shit. So I'll say this, Seeps. Grown-up move, getting Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
1 step forward.
And then
Signing Brooks is 2 steps back.
I think
He's not a grown-up.
No.
He was not liked in that locker room in Memphis.
I don't know if maybe Ime thinks he can reel him in a little bit, but
Borelli, I did my best. Jeremy sets the bar extremely high. The fact that he can do 3 beers
it's insane.
in 8 seconds is ridiculous.
It's insane.
King James says no more than 2 boots. I can't do more than 2. 2 and that's
Two's the
it.
max.
Nelson, I'm hanging in there, brother. I'm hanging in there. I'm trying.
Shout
I'm
out to
trying.
Nelson.
Dude, Borelli, his throat strength is ridiculous. His swallow game is impeccable.
He's unreal.
Jeremy Chuggs, swallow game, A+.
A+. They call him throat goat, actually.
I'm freaking dead.
Yeah, the throat goat from Steve. It's about that time of the show.
It's about that time. I'm freaking cooked. We've been live for 2 hours. If you haven't yet, hit that sub button. I promise you're not getting informative, entertaining Knicks coverage and NBA free agency coverage like this. Oh.
Then Anton Joseph, first time super chatter. Good question, Marsh. DeMar DeRozan or OG Anunoby? Who would you rather have?
DeMar DeRozan or Anunoby? Give me Anunoby.
Anunoby.
OG Anunoby. Shout out to Carl if he's watching. Mr. Beam King says, so this is how Knicks fans get when they... Dude, relax.
Oh, put him in the dirt, Mr. Beam King.
Relax. Relax. Relax.
Oh, that's funny, Beam King.
That's a joke. Low blow, bro.
I'm
Low blow, bro.
You're going to kick a man when he's down? Come on.
Antoine Joseph, thank you for your first ever super chat on the channel. You are never going to forget what it feels like right now. As Robert Rodriguez is an insider, breaking news, saying Scoot says he's ready to be the face of the Blazers.
He is.
John Borelli feeling woozy. I'm not sober. I'll tell you that much. I'm not sober. My stomach hurts like shit. So that's that. I might go throw up here in a little bit. I didn't get a burp after that one. That's why my stomach hurts.
You did it?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to force myself to burp. Didn't work. Mitch hates Rolly in the chat. And then low in theory, that was wild.
That is a wild statement.
That was crazy.
That's crazy, Lloyd.
That was out of pocket almost.
That's out of pocket. You got to relax.
Y'all got to chill. Y'all got to chill.
This is we keep it PG here. All right.
All right, Mitch, if you want that title, you got it, bro.
I didn't say it. Mitch hates Rolly, but I didn't say it.
If that's the title you want, bro, you got it. Oh, shit, that was crazy.
When is DiVincenzo signing?
Fucking sign already, DiVincenzo.
Put that pen to paper.
John Borelli says, how can we confirm?
All right,
this
guys.
is getting out of pocket.
Loop it back in, everybody.
Everybody tighten up.
Tighten up.
Luke the Cuber says, as a Pacers fan, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You better be nice to Obi.
Yeah.
You better be nice to Obi. Jake. Or Luke. Luke.
Jake.
Oh, shit.
Come on, Jake.
Yeah, good luck, Luke. Honestly, Luke, piss off, dude. I know you're being nice. But, dude, don't rub it in.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't rub it in, bro. Come on, bro. That's messed up, bro. That's messed up.
Now he's taunting. He's taunting.
Luke!
He's taunting now.
Luke!
Luke the
Get to the
Cuber.
playoffs.
Yeah,
How about you win a playoff game?
Enjoy your $52 million a year point guard.
Fake ass all-star. Oh, YouTube Studio just sent me a nice notification. Told me my rev went up.
Nice. I just got that too.
Let's go. It's about damn time. I've been trying to let the stomach pain pass, and it just won't.
Alrighty.
Is it time?
Yeah, what's the play here?
It's a good question.
We'll always be back live once DiVincenzo signs.
Give me 1 sec. How about this? Every $5 super chat while I'm gone, I'm taking shots at tequila.
It is my show.
Every $5 super chat while I'm gone, shots at tequila.
You heard the man. $5 while he's gone. Tequila shots. We're taking them. And you know what? If we get a 50 while Marsh is gone, I'll do my own little shot fun race with the Grape Happy Dads here. At least 5 Walmart gift cards have some value. I guess they would, Michael. I guess they would. Krill saying he dropping a deuce. Krill, he would be gone for way longer than that. We wouldn't have done this $5 deal if he was, taking the deuce. But Lorenzo saying exactly. King James, I think he has a drinking problem. I don't think he does. No. Low End Theory is saying. All right. Low End Theory is saying, is it possible to do a reaction video to all the highlights of last season from you guys? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That's honestly something I think we should probably do. I love that idea. Pacers versus Knicks, rivals again, coming from Luke. Y'all got to make the playoffs, man. Y'all got to make the playoffs. And then maybe we could talk. We will. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Pacers are going to be a fun team. Like I was talking about earlier before you were in here. Like I really think the Pacers are going to be like teams that like I'm excited to watch play. Like whenever they get a primetime game, it would be the Indiana Pacers. I just think they're going to be a fun team to watch. Obviously, you guys were good when Halliburton played last year. I think it was like 24 and 18. I think is the exact number, but yeah. I mean, I'll be there. Fernando, $5. I'll make sure Marsh gets that when he gets back. Shout out to you. He says, cheers, mate. Cheers to you, Fernando. You showed love earlier today with the $50 super chat. Goes a lot farther than you think here. Obviously, we try to just have a good time and everything, but it keeps the lights on. It keeps the graphics going and everything when you guys support the show. It doesn't just go into our pockets. It goes right back into the Chat Sports Fund. So, we really do appreciate it. So, Fernando, shout out to you. We just like to have fun with you guys while we're kind of hanging out. So, let's see how it plays out, Michael. The Pacers could be trash again. They very well could be. I mean, the Pacers will be a fun team. I mean, now with Bruce Brown, Obi, Ben Shepherd, like they added a bunch of key pieces. Jarris Walker. I'm a big fan of Jarris Walker out of Houston. He's going to be sweet, but it's just going to be interesting to see how that team fits. With this new CBA, like Halliburton, giving him $52 mil a year, like you better hope he works. Like he does work. He's a tremendous basketball player, no matter what you think of him. But he's got to be very, very solid. So we'll see. We shall see. We were 6 seed till Hartenstein injured Halliburton. I mean, yeah, that's true. They have a lot of road players. I'm assuming you mean role players. They do have a lot of role players. But, I mean, if Halliburton can – I see, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like in the new modern-day NBA, like, you're not going to get these big threes anymore. Like, you're going to get these more complete teams because of the new CBA. Like, you're not going to be able to give three guys $50 million. Like, that's just not going to be a thing. Or else you're going to be living above that second kind of threshold of the cap space. Like, the NBA doesn't have a hard cap space, but it kind of does. Like, there's so many restrictions now if you hit that second apron of total cap space. So, King Ja, I got you. Don't worry. I see you. Excuses, Luke. I mean, I get it, it's an excuse, but it's also fair. Like, if you're best player, I mean, let's just say if Jalen Brunson got hurt, the Knicks would not be the same guy. Halliburton is a great playmaker and shooter, but can't really defend. Definitely true. Yeah, definitely true. But also with those guys that kind of demand so much offensively, like, I really wonder if, like, they had to focus more on defense, they'd be a better team. Or better defender. Buddy Hield on the team is still an L. I like Buddy Hield. I mean, anytime you can have shooting next to a playmaking guard like Halliburton, I think it's always a benefit. He can't steal, though, but he can't block. Yeah, I mean, obviously Halliburton's not a rim protector, but he's a hell of a kind of scrappy player. But again, like if Halliburton had to focus more on defense, he would be a better defender. He just has to focus so much on the offensive side of the floor. Yeah, and he does average 2 steals. Like Steph Curry, he's not a good defender by any means, but he has sneaky steals. Or Jalen Brunson for the Knicks fans. Like Brunson's not a good one-on-one defender, but in the 5-on-5 half court, Brunson's willing to take a charge. He's willing to do the little things to kind of get that stop that other players might not be down for. I'm a Kings fan, that's why. Yeah, Kings, you guys are set up pretty well. You guys have been making a ton of good moves. I've loved what the Kings have been doing. The Kings have been making a ton of solid moves. But this is kind of the recap of free agency. Draymond back to the Warriors. Trey Lyles back to the Kings. Kobe White back to the Bulls. Bruce Brown gets a big-time deal with Indiana Pacers. Taurean Prince to the Los Angeles Lakers on that kind of $4.5 million deal. Kuzma shockingly goes back to the Wizards. I swear, Kuzma and Poole are going to have a game this summer or this year where they average or they go for 80 and they combine for 40 a pop. But they're also going to have games where they both shoot 2 for 25. Like they're both kind of chuckers offensively. Josh Okogie back to the Suns. This was kind of the Suns' run of filling out their bench. Bates Diop. He's there on a 2-year, $5 million deal. Damian Lee, NBA champ Damian Lee to the Phoenix Suns. And this was the big deal. Jeremy Grant to the Portland Trail Blazers. Even though Dame did request a trade, Jeremy Grant, that contract remains in position. John Borelli saying Kuz pool party, have fun. I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, the Wizards games this year are going to be in the 130s. Like, there's going to be no defense and a whole lot of offense played from the Washington Wizards this year. Moving on here, Kristaps, he signed that extension with the Boston Celtics, 2 years, $60 million deal. Troy Brown goes to Minnesota. Reggie Jackson heads back to Denver on a 2-year, $10.5 million deal. Nickeil Alexander-Walker to Minnesota as well, and then Javon Carter to Chicago, where he grew up, went to Press, Virginia, and now he's back with the Bulls. I think it's a good fit there in Chicago. And then George Niang to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs clearly had the address shooting, and they did. They also traded for Max Strus, so shooting was definitely on top of their needs heading into offseason. They definitely checked that box as well. But then Kyrie, big-time name. He went back to the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year, $126 million deal. They're going to try to see if they can work something out there in Dallas with him and Luca, see if they can kind of finally get over that championship hump. I've actually loved what Dallas has done this offseason. If I had to power rank my teams in the Western Conference, I think Denver obviously has the right to be the number 1 team. No duh. Like, they are the best team in the West. But besides that, like, I'd probably go Phoenix, number 2. I understand people are concerned over Phoenix, like the rest of the roster, but I think this is a stars league still, and when you still have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and now adding Bradley Beal, like, they are going to be an offensive juggernaut. And they're just going to be a juggernaut in general. Like, don't be surprised if Phoenix wins 60-plus games in the regular season and it's them and Denver in the Western Conference Finals. But besides those two, I'd probably go Lakers or Mavs at the 3 or the 4, and maybe even the Warriors. I really think, like, the Mavs, with what they've done, like, they have such an offensive force in Kyrie and Luca. Like, there are 2 guys where, like, you can say, throw them the ball, no offensive play, go get a bucket. And that's – no, I'm actually saying you guys are the 4th best team in the West right now, Coop. I mean, honestly, like, I think they could be special. Like, I think the Mavs, like, I've loved what they've done. In addition to Seth Curry, adding shooting around a guy like Luka is also so important. But they got solid defenders throughout the draft. Like, I think the Mavs have done a very solid job this offseason. So, but moving along, Joe Ingles to the Orlando Magic, 2 years, $22 million deal. A little bit of a shocker that Ingles went to Orlando. I thought Ingles would be kind of in his ring-chasing side of his career, but maybe he wants to go be a mentor for some young pieces down in Orlando, and plus you're living in Orlando, so that's going to be a ton of fun. Chris Middleton back with the Bucks on a 3-year, $102 million deal. He did opt out of his player option of $40 million, and now he's signing this one for 3 for $102, kind of giving the Bucks a little more flexibility. And then the Raptors retaining their big man for 4 years, $80 million. But then the Cam Johnson deal. I know a lot of people think this is a bit of an overpay for a role player in the NBA, but again, like Cam Johnson getting 4 years up to $108 million, like if I had to kind of pick out what archetype I think contributes to winning the most in the modern day NBA, I think it's those 3-and-D 6'9" wings. And that's exactly what Cam Johnson is. Like, he shoots 40% from deep. He is a defender that he can switch 1 through 4 at the highest of levels. Like, and if you look back on those Suns teams, like, that Suns team, like, they had Chris Paul, Booker, Cam Johnson, and Mikal Bridges and Ayton. Like, those are all 5 really solid players. Like, I feel like Cam Johnson's kind of been undervalued amongst NBA fans, and I think it's a great deal. Whether they keep him or not, maybe they move him to Portland, we shall see in a Damian Lillard trade. But I think that's a solid deal. I think it's a solid deal. And then Trey Jones heading back to San Antonio on a 2-year, $20 million deal. This also, next one was a shocker. Gabe Vincent, 3 years for $33 million to the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought the Lakers were going to go for more of a Bruce Brown archetype, like maybe more of a defensive point guard or guard, but instead they went with Gabe Vincent. I'm a fan of Gabe Vincent. Obviously, it's tough to score back-to-back games in the NBA Finals of having 20-plus, and he did that in games 1 and 2. Obviously, the rest of the finals, he wasn't too good, but I've been a fan of Gabe Vincent. He showed up for the Heat in the playoffs, and he was a huge contributor. Shake Milton, 2 years, $10 million deal, and then Herb Jones heading back to New Orleans on a cheaper deal than I thought of 4 years, $54 million, and then Josh Richardson, 2 years for $6 million, and then Rui, 3 for $51 as well. But overall, good moves overall for a lot of teams in the NBA. My favorite move so far, I will say I am in the camp of the minority with the Fred VanVleet deal. I understand it's an overpay. Like, I understand you don't want to give Fred VanVleet the max, but I think in terms of contributing to winning in the NBA, like what you need to do is you need to add veteran pieces. And the Rockets have a ton of young talent right now. But they now have Ime at the top. He's going to set the culture. And you bring in a guy who has won a championship in the NBA to kind of be that mentor for these younger pieces. Like, yes, it's an overpay. There's no argument about that. But, like, I think people undervalue having a mature veteran in that locker room. Like, these are young players. Like, look at these numbers on screen. Like, they're getting paid ridiculous amounts of money. Like, it's good to have a just a solid piece. So, yeah, I think it's overall a good move for Fred VanVleet heading to Houston. Like, obviously, it's not the price range you would probably want if you're a Rockets fan, but I do think we'll see his impact. And maybe it won't contribute to winning, like in the wins and loss columns, but I think it will contribute to the player development of especially guys like, Thompson, Jabari Smith. Like, those guys will really reap the benefits of adding a guy like Fred VanVleet. And then moving on here, Dennis Schroeder heading to Toronto maybe will be their starting point guard. I got to see what they do there, but they got him for a 2-year, $26 million deal. O'Shea Brissett heading to Boston, the Syracuse legend. And then I love this move. Seth Curry heading to Dallas on a 2-year, $9 million deal. I thought Seth was going to get way more during free agency, but the Mavs kind of got him on a steal, and the Mavs are making a ton of solid moves so far. And then another move I absolutely love, Derrick Rose to Memphis. They did not sign him for his on-the-court contributions. They signed him to be a mentor for Ja Morant. And again, I think we're starting to see with how immature some of these NBA stars have been in recent memory, like, I think they are starting to value a locker room presence from a veteran. Like, and that's what D Rose will offer the Memphis Grizzlies. So shout out to D Rose getting paid a little bit more as he kind of ends up on this little farewell tour that he's kind of on during his NBA career. But then also Gary Trent back to Toronto, and then Tyrese Halliburton and Desmond Bane got the big-time deals for their respective teams. I think both of them are a little overpaid. I honestly think I'm a fan of Bane, but, man, giving him $40 million a year, I just don't think he could be a 2 on a chance. He's more of a 3 in my opinion. Hell of a player, but that's a lot of money, especially you're going to pay Ja. Like, I think the Grizzlies might have restricted themselves, especially cap space-wise with this deal.
You have to give Jaren Jackson a bag, too.
That is, and I would rather pay Jaren Jackson than Desmond Bane.
Can Desmond Bane be your second-best scorer on a championship team?
No, I just don't think so.
Because he's a better scorer than Jackson. Jackson, obviously, a more valuable player for what he brings on the defensive side of the court. I'm a big fan of Bane. He's honestly, like, if he was the 2 guard for the Knicks, I would love that. I mean,
that'd be a great fit.
Like, he can create his own 3-point shot. He can pull up. He can knock it down. He plays defense. He's got little T-Rex arms. But overall, he's a good defender.
It's just that deal, it's a
lot of money.
But it is the going rate. Like, I get it. Like, these teams are – the thing is with these new contracts is the new CBA. I feel like the middle pack of the NBA is really taking a hit. Like, it's almost like socialism hits the NBA, where it's like the top guys are getting paid more, the middle and lower guys are kind of getting screwed here. But you got a guy like Max Strus. I mean, I say that, and a guy like Max Strus gets 4 for 63 with Cleveland. Like, that's a ton of money. So
That is a lot of money for Strus. What's that? 15 and a half almost, pretty much?
yeah, just over the MLE. I mean, it's just a lot.
I don't know if I like that deal. I mean, I kind of get scared a little bit, right, that he's a product of the Miami Heat culture.
That's a deal in 2 years you're looking at. Where you're like, really?
That has Evan Fournier vibes to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because, like, think about it like this. Mitchell, Garland, and Strus on the court. That's 3 negative defenders.
Yeah,
Like, that's 3 bad defenders on the court.
that's true.
Nets are among the teams that have been contacted as a potential third team to acquire Tyler Hero in a Damian Lillard trade. Wow, Ian Begley, a little bombshell right there. Sounds like if they do trade Damian Lillard to the Miami Heat, the Blazers don't want Tyler Hero.
The report came out. They want a star. Like, I think the Trailblazers are thinking, like, Scoot, whoever they get, and Jeremy Grant is the missing piece.
I don't know about that.
Portland's been a very poorly ran franchise over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, even Jake Fisher says the Blazers are looking for a third team to send Tyler Hero. Win. All righty. We're going to sign off on today's show. We've been live for almost 3 hours. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Everybody that has shown love, everybody that has just commented, liked, and especially super chatted to today's show. You guys have been awesome. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without the awesome support from you guys. So from myself, from Patrick Seatman, from everybody here on chat in Chat Sports, we just want to say thank you.
And I will say, if you entered the T-shirt giveaway, have all your names here. They won't be given away, so you're still in there.
We're going at least through the weekend. Hopefully DiVincenzo signs soon. If he does, we will do a video or we may even go live on the channel. Until then, Marsh, Seeps, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.